Good afternoon. We are in the middle of waiting for my video to export for last week's vlog. It was 1 hour, 59 minutes, and like 0.07 seconds. Oh, it says 1 second. Oh, yeah. So 1 hour, 59 minutes, 1 second. So I think right now I'm not quite ready to start working on the Fallout stuff because I just had to organize my house a little bit. My house is so messy because I have way too many hobbies. It's my own fault, but still, I have too many hobbies and I just needed to clear up an area. I don't even know why this is here. We got this during COVID times. Surprise, it still worked. Oh, I know why. It's because I was trying to get the printer working and I was trying to it's a whole mess. Honestly, at this point, this needs to get out of this room, and maybe it's good for wiping off the table, so I'll just keep it there for now. Because I'm not quite ready to go into the sewing room yet, because I do want to at least get the shorts started this week for my Fallout outfit. I have this pile of stuff, which you guys may or may not have seen in the last vlog, but I was working on these. These are prizes I want to give out at HHN. Not prizes because it's like, oh, you found me, like Waldo kind of deal, but like if anybody recognizes me, which is very, very, very rare because I have a very tiny following on TikTok, and oh my god. Sorry. Give me like 10 seconds. I'm in over my head right now. I apologize for all the loud noises this early in the morning. It's not like a consolation prize or anything for finding me because I only have like 5K, almost 6K followers on TikTok, and I don't find myself expanding very far after this. Maybe 10K max, but even then that's like a lot. And so I thought it would be really nice if anybody recognized me from TikTok or YouTube or Redbook. They can get one of these little guys. This isn't sewn in yet. As you can see, there's a tail on it. But either that, or we could do if I really like somebody's outfit and I get enough bravery to go up to them and be like, hey, your outfit's cute here, and then run away. Or if somebody compliments my outfit or somebody's wearing something similar to one of the houses I really like, I think it'd be a really cute thing to do. Speaking of HHN, let me get started on that. Hold on. Let me pull up a list real quick of everything that's been announced. All right. So I don't quite yet want to talk about the houses because there's still 2 more houses that need to be announced. One technically, but also, okay, I'll just talk about the houses. Let's just get to it because I love HHN. It's one of my favorite things that I look forward to every single year. 2020 was such a bummer. 2021 was okay, but 2020 sucked, and you all know why. So we do not have an official announcement of a house for FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, but it is going to be a house. It has been talked about by that one guy, John Murdy. He mentioned that it will be a house, but the speculation is that it's going to be more than a house. Right now, the Palace Arcade, which is where we go to play our little SpongeBob game. My husband mostly. I just kind of hang out. It's one of our deprivation zones. So I will be making a video probably of where we go to, because both my husband and I and our good friends, my best friend Lucy and his good friend, I guess they're best friends now. We're going to medieval nights together, or medieval times together on Wednesday. I just bought the tickets last night. It's for his 30th birthday, maybe his 31st. I don't know how old he's turning, but it's my husband's friend. We're all autistic. We're all ADHD. So we all need that time away from the crowds. Although it is my favorite event of the year, I'm not agoraphobic. I just have sensitivities to sounds and smells and just people in general. So we need our time and space away from that. And by me having my earplugs, I'm probably the most prepared out of the 4 of us. But I think I'm the only one that is okay with having earplugs in because I've basically trained myself since, let's say, 6th grade when I was riding the bus and listening to my Skull Candy earphones. My ears are shot. So I have really big sensitivities. So I am thinking about making a video about this eventually in the future. Speaking of, I'm sorry, as a reminder, as I just said, I'm ADHD, so I can't stick to a topic, and it's the reason why I don't talk in my shorts form content, and that's why this vlog exists, is because I have a lot of thoughts and I just want to spew them out. And my husband's not here for me to talk his ear off, and sometimes I feel like I'm annoying him. So that's why you guys are here. Thank you for being here. Anyways, I have plans for HHN videos in the future, and they're going to be separate from these vlogs, though I might insert a little tiny clip of them. I kind of have a plan for, like, last year, I tried to do a where I go to deprivate myself for HHN. And this year I may do the same thing, except for I'll have a mic this time. So I'll actually be able to talk to you guys about it instead of, like, I don't know. I might talk in the camera, but I doubt it. I have really strange, like, issues about filming myself in public. And usually I film up and down in public, but this time it will be horizontal. And yeah, I have a couple days where I'll be going by myself. This coming, actually Saturday, I will be out at HHN looking at updates, prop updates, because it is something I do. Like I said, I've said this before. I'm not an HHN content creator. I just really, really love HHN. So I'll take any chance that I can to talk about it. And I will info dump at you. And my way of info dumping is going out to the parks, looking at the props, not speculating, although I do love the speculating, but just looking at stuff and getting, like, a really close detail of the work that goes into them, because I really love staging and I wish that it was something that I had grown up with, but I'm more on the music side. So that is coming up, where I may or may not go out and do my little autism box film. Also, I do plan on separately doing a crochet with me with HHN ambiance sound. So the plan is, on my days where I go by myself, I'll be bringing my side camera, my old phone, and I will be setting that up while I'm crocheting in a scare zone, because I do often go out to a scare zone or go out by myself, grab some food, and just enjoy sitting and watching people watching. I love watching the actors get really into it, because at the end of the day, they are actors. They're called scare actors for a reason, because they're actually acting. And it's like, it's one of those, like, I'm sure that if you're into historic, like, content in general, you've heard of Abby Cox, who used to be, like, a IRL historical I don't know how you called it, but, like, people would go to her location and she would be working on sewing stuff in the time appropriate garments. And that's kind of the way I feel about HHN. It's their version of doing something like that. And I wish I knew what it was called, but I can't remember anything. I can barely remember my husband's name sometimes. So that's something I plan on doing separately as well. So that will be in the future on this channel, like maybe an hour long worth, depending on how much space I have on this phone. It's not much, but I have some space on here that I can put on, like, do short videos or long videos of just enjoying the ambience of HHN while you crochet or while you're doing sewing, whatever. I don't know. Right now, I really, really miss that kind of content, and I'm trying to look for it on YouTube, but everybody's big old YouTube content is going through all 10 houses. And I'm sorry, I absolutely dread watching some of them. There's some that I really, really enjoy because they don't speak while they're doing it. And that's the kind of content I do enjoy. I like to be in it without other people's input. I don't know if you just heard my stomach, but I guess I'm hungry. I don't like hearing people scream over the content. So that's kind of my thing. Like, you'll hear people screaming in the background, but I just want to get, like, a good video of something like that. Maybe it's not going to be a good professionally shot video, but that's just kind of what I enjoy doing at HHN. So that's all coming. Anyways, let me regather my thoughts and then I'll start talking about the houses, I guess. All right, so going back to FNAF, yes, it hasn't been announced officially. The trailer hasn't come out yet officially for the FNAF house, and it was just kind of a leak on accident. So I think the next, like, big stage show, because was it at San Diego Comic-Con? I think that's where they're going to finally announce Five Nights at Freddy's, because usually I think that's the convention that they have a panel and they announce the big house. And so that's probably coming up next. Right now we have a wrestling house, Wyatt 6 or something. I don't follow wrestling. It's been such a long time. I definitely believe it's been at least since 2004. Probably a little bit later than that. I think I was maybe in 5th or 6th grade. Probably 6th grade when I stopped watching wrestling stuff. I was really into the wrestling game where like the goal was to make them bleed and like I don't know. I had a fun childhood. Let me be honest here. I did love wrestling before I found out it was fake, and like now I enjoy it for the way it is and for like the story. Like I do understand that there is lore, like specifically the Undertaker. I do understand the Undertaker lore because that was my time period. I understand that it is a storyline and the action is just secondary to it. So I think this is going to be a very interesting house. I'm very excited to see it just for the fans. So same with a FNAF house. I never really got into it. I do like Markiplier, but and then I think PewDiePie was also in on it. And then was it Jacksepticeye? Those three, the trio. I think I watched Markiplier's videos. One of my roommates in college was obsessed with Markiplier, so she would just info dump it at me. And then like we had that in common with each other. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You guys don't need to know my backstory. Probably a lot of you are clicking on this because you see HHN and you're like, who is this crazy lady talking about HHN? And then also info dumping her whole life at me, like trauma dumping. I'm not trying to do that, I promise. But anyways, FNAF, I'm excited for the fans of FNAF. This has been a long time coming house. And I will always say this, the people that are mad that FNAF is coming because they think it's going to be overrun by children are dumb. Like I'm sorry, y'all don't understand the age gap of the FNAF fandom. I'm 33. I got into FNAF in my 20s. And as I've said, I'm not a huge FNAF fan, but I did watch like a majority of the first game through Markiplier. Those kids are grown. They're not in their teens, late teens anymore. Sure, there might be some, but the majority of their fans are in their late teens into their late 20s. That's the fan base. So the fact that a lot of y'all are like, oh, it's going to be run by a whole bunch of kids, you don't understand the fandom, and I don't feel like you deserve to talk about it. Sorry. So I'm excited for that fandom. I'm excited for the possible WWE fandom. But like talking about the actual houses that have been announced, the first official announcement was Fallout. You guys know, if you have been here for a long time, you understand my love for Fallout. One of the reasons why my hair is all disheveled right now, because like I've been like picking at it because I put way too much hairspray in this one and it's been like annoying the hell out of me. But one of the biggest reasons why I got into vintage was because of the Fallout series. I love 1940s, late 30s, early 40s vintage. That's my like aesthetic. Although I would say the Fallout series is more based on like late 40s, early 50s, maybe 50s, like just the 50s in general. I wouldn't say 60s because like, yeah, it does have a little bit of leaning towards the 60s. So maybe mid 50s. Sorry, like I am a historical fashion, not nerd, but I started my sewing in historical fashion, specifically 1940s. So if you're new here, hi, that's my aesthetic. I don't look like it right now. I'm in my PJs. You can't blame me. But Fallout is huge, and I'm probably titling this video something along the lines of starting my HHN Fallout costume, whatever. It's not going to be a costume. It's going to be in 1940s. And I talked a little bit about it last week, so I'll remind you guys again when I get to the sewing room. I just don't feel like doing it right now because I have all of this to sew in, and I have this to sew in, and I have this. I'll show you guys this later. But I have this to sew in. I'm just so tired of the mess around my whole entire desk area. So I really, really, really want to get this area cleaned up. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. But speaking of this, real quick before I continue the houses, this is my little boo popcorn bucket, and I hopefully didn't break it. I didn't. I don't use it for popcorn. I love popcorn. It's one of my safe foods, but I don't normally eat popcorn when I'm in the parks. I have to have a lot of seasonings on it. Right now, my favorite mix is doing white pepper with cinnamon sugar. I know this sounds weird. White pepper, cinnamon sugar, and then whatever this seasoning is, I think it's Cavender's. It's so good. Like sweet and spicy. Mwah, so stinking good. I need to try the banana popcorn over at Minions, but I never want to purchase it because it's not a refillable flavor. And then on top of that, my husband's allergic to bananas, so I'd feel bad if I had to eat the whole thing by myself because I don't know if I'd even like it. So whatever. Yeah. So right now I'm starting to fill this into here. Oh, I only have one done. I thought I had another one. I thought there was another one in here. It's probably on the ground somewhere. Yeah, I definitely have another one. Dang it. I'll look for it later. Anyways, we're going to fill this jar up. As I've said, I want to give them away to people who I think look really, really cute in their little outfits, or like they recognize me for some odd reason, even though I don't think I don't know. I have a very, very unique style. So I know people recognize me over the years, but like not in the sense of like my social media presence, because I have like zero social media presence. But this is all off topic. Let's get back to the houses. Please, brain, focus. So next one on the list, I don't know if this was the next one announced, but Terrifier. I'm excited for the fandom. I'm not into the Terrifier series. I know I would like it because I do prefer gory like horror movies, and I think it's very gore based. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually not into haunted or horror movies. It's just not for me. I think most of them are predictable, and that's why I don't like watching them. I like something that has more like background character thing. And I feel like if I watched all the Jason movies, but that's like a million at this point. If I watched all of those movies, then I would probably understand the background of him. But like when there's people on YouTube that can just sum it up for me, give me the Sparks Notes, I really just have no interest in it because it's all the same story. I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but I like the idea of it. I just don't want to dedicate time to watching them. So anyways, excited for that fandom. It's not high on my list yet. I will be doing a hype list eventually. It will probably just be on my TikTok and my Redbook because I don't know how I would do it on shorts. I kind of want to do like a little text thing. Who knows? Yes. What's going on? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Found the extra one. It was underneath my husband's desk. So, all right. So getting back to it, I'll probably have to give another pause because the dogs are outside and Apollo is currently injured. We don't know where it's coming from. His back right leg is injured. So we have a little appointment for him in a week. Hopefully he'll be fine. We also have like a little thing of doggy stairs coming in. Actually, I'm going to just go prop up that door real quick. Yeah, let me be back again. So Apollo is a Chiweenie. And because he's a Chiweenie, he has that half dachshund in him where he is prone to getting injuries in his lower back area. So we think that it happened during the time we had no AC in this house. My mother-in-law's house, her bed is pretty high up. And so it may have been because of that, but it's also, I feel like it may have been my fault because there was a day that like in the last vlog, we heard a little bit of the thunder, but it was thundering so hard. And he just wouldn't want to leave my lap. So whenever I would pick him up and he just, I don't know, maybe it was something with that, with him, his little feet dangling. I don't know. He was whining a little bit during the storm. So I don't know if it was because he was scared or if it was because of seriously the injury. But anyways, getting back to the houses, we're going to, I think I already talked about Terrifier. I think I said that I'm excited for the fandom. It's just not going to be one of my things. And then I did say that I was going to make a little hype list eventually, but I could make one with the original houses because I know which one I want first or which one I'm most excited about. But I think that's 3. I think, isn't there another IP that was announced? Because I think we have 3 IPs in the little window thing. Let me see. Yeah, Jason. Duh. I'm not excited for that one. That was probably going to be number 10 on my list. Not going to lie. It's just not my thing. I love that it's summerween-ish. It's a summer horror movie, and I do like that. I do love it has such a large fandom that the shirts sold out. Like, I didn't think that it would. I honestly didn't realize how large the fandom was. It's, like I said, it's not really for me. It's not something that I ever go out to watch. I don't seek to watch it. It's a slasher film. Yeah. it just feels a lot of the same story. So I'm not excited to have a bunch of Jasons in a house. All right. So now for the original houses, these ones I'm most excited about. In general, when HHN does houses or their original houses, they almost always make my top 5. And it's usually more than one that makes top 5 at the end of the year, and also for hype list. My top right now is going to be Dolls Let's Play Dead. I am somebody who is also into J fashion. And when I think of dolls, like originally when I thought of this house, when I heard that this house was going to be the thing, I was just like, oh, it's going to be like another Chucky house. I really don't care for it. But then I listened or I read, I need to watch some podcasts about this, but I read somewhere about like it being kind of Victorian, like a little dollhouse. And if that's the case, I want Lolita outfits. I've been asking for a yokai house for so long, and I know I'm not the only one that wants a yokai house, but this is the closest thing we can get. Like, if you can think of, like, if you were into Pokemon, Sabrina, her little doll, that's what I want. I want a little psychic doll. And I know I do need to look it up again. So, like, it says you're about to become doll sized and be hunted by toys that have been burnt, melded, and stitched together by a twisted little girl. So, although Sabrina doesn't do that with her doll, she is a twisted little girl. So I also like Pokemon. It's one of my favorite IPs in the whole entire world. It was probably one of my first special interests outside of music. I wouldn't say it was a special interest, maybe a hyperinflation. Hyper fixation. That's the word. It was one of my first hyperfixations ever, but the music also was part of it. So music is my special interest. I just don't know how to verbalize music things. I will say this house will probably, if they decide to put music in these houses, this will be the best, I feel like, out of the 5. Just because, like, I can imagine, like, little creepy, like, bell set, like the actual, not the xylophone, but like the actual like little bell kit that you got in 6th grade when you were a percussionist. I can imagine hearing those in there. I can imagine maybe hearing some jingle bells. I can imagine like quite a few little, sorry, I just got a message from Erie Nuts. If you didn't watch last week's video was dedicated to making her whole entire like art box. We did an art box trade. She sent over some stuff. You guys can go watch that. This vlog, at least in the beginning of this, is about HHN. So, yeah, I can just imagine like the creepy, eerie, like bell sounds. And that's what I want in a house. It's what I want with music. I often leave HHN, like lately, not enjoying the entire time because the music isn't good. I want to say, and I feel bad for saying this, I hated Vamp 69. I hated it. I hated that they played Neil Diamond. I love that for the other people. It absolutely took me out of the whole entire thing. Like it just, I would avoid that scare zone. And I think that was the same year they had like a really annoying high pitched scream. I'm not going to replicate it, but there was like a really annoying scream that was in that scare zone on top of hearing Neil Diamond. And it was just like, I don't go to HHN to have fun. I mean, yeah, I go to HHN to have fun, but I don't go to HHN to have like to dance to Sweet Caroline, you know? Absolutely took me out of the moment. They didn't even like water it down or creepy it up. Like they didn't even do like a slow down version of it. I would have been okay with a slow down version, I feel like, if they did like a little bit of extra like DJing over it. I don't know what the proper term is, produce. I wasn't a music business major. I was a music education major. And if I had the chance or opportunity, I would have been a music history major, but I didn't know that was a thing. So anyways, it's just, it just wasn't the mood. That specific year, I think about how much I hated it that year. I love the vamp scare zones in general, and we'll get to that whenever we get to the scare zones. But I need the music because like when you're doing like horror things, there's a lot of posts on TikTok. If you look at some of those posts, which are like, I think the most recent one I saw was like people who worked oil rigs or something. It's something along the lines of water work, like deep ocean work. And the post was just basically, I think it was like K-pop music or something poppy. And the caption was something along the lines of proof that this isn't scary, except for when they put the yo ho la da da, that shanty over it. That's the only reason why it makes it scary. And that's literally what I'm saying about that Vamp 69 scare zone. I don't think it was meant to scare us. I think it was supposed to be campy, but I think it was a little bit too campy for me. I love the idea of vampires. I love that idea for what we do in the shadows. But when I go to HHN, I don't really want that. Like, even no offense to the costumer who did this, the costumes were just okay. Like, I don't think they had a historical costumer on that. In general, okay, I guess we're going to talk about scare zones now because that's where I spend my time. In general, the scare zones are not very historically accurate. The only time they ever get it kind of accurate is 1950s, because I do think there is a rockabilly girl that works on the scene, or somebody that's into 1950s fashion. They're on the team. So like, and then on top of that, there's a lot of influence for the 1950s aesthetic, because not only do we have the rockabillys and the pinup models who are part of the trend, but now we got the trad wives. So 1950s in general, super easy to replicate. Understand that it's widely available. So you can even like Shein it, which is such a shame because I know some of those costumes. Maybe not Shein, but definitely Amazon. So yeah. Anyways, I also am a costumer person. This is me trying to stay on topic. I am into the scare zones mostly for the costumes. I am into HHN mostly for the costumes. Like I said, am not a horror movie fan. However, the set design, the lighting package, the music, all of that goes into why I enjoy the genre in general. And I think that's another reason why I have a hard time watching horror movies, is because like there's never enough music for me as a music autistic. So anyways, that's a preview into my scare zone thing. So moving on from Dolls Let's Play Dead is El Artista. I'm reading through the Discord list, by the way. El Artista, a Spanish haunting. So in 19th century Spain, a tortured artist moves into an isolated country manor for inspiration, but the art comes alive and possesses him. This one isn't number one for me, but it is kind of high up there. I'm very interested to see how they're going to work this. I want to see the manor. So the thought process is that the houses and the scare zones are going to kind of tie into each other. And I'm hoping that this is part of it. Maybe not the houses, but I can imagine the house being part of it, because like the thought process with this, like I said, was the I didn't say that it was the conservatorium. Is it conservatory or is it conservatorium? I don't know. English isn't my first language, but it's also the one I'm best at. So I think El Artista is like the big house of the 5 originals. And because it's going to be the main house of the originals, we're thinking that not the idol, that's K-pop, the icon is coming from this house. It was the one that was announced at Spookala, I think it's called. I think that's what it was. They're now called Scaradise, by the way, which is cute, and I love it, and I can't wait to go for my first time. I probably won't go in October. I never make it out to conventions or like shops in October because it's just a jam-packed like month for me. It was announced at a panel, and they brought out a character actor for it, and the costume looks pretty cute. So I'm very excited to see the rest of the house, to see how they're going to do this, like a country manor for inspiration. Oh, I've heard that this house also is being directed by the guy that did Dead Man's Pier. And if that's the case, oh, we are in for a treat. That house was gorgeous. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's one of the best houses. I will say, I will give it a thumbs down because the podcast said specifically that the girl playing violin was playing Beethoven, and she was not playing Beethoven in the house. So if you're going to mention music, please, Universal, use the right music. Some of us will notice. So, yeah, that's the one down tick I have for that house. But other than that, absolutely gorgeous house. Absolutely stunning. So I think this house is going to be amazing. I'm so glad that this person is leading. I wish I knew the name of this person, but as I've said, I'm like bad at remembering things. So, all right, water break. Next one. This next one is Galkin, Monsters of the North. No description. All right, so this is going to be the cold house. My husband is probably anticipating this one in his top 5. He loves the cold houses. They're almost always consistently his favorite. I'm hoping it's kind of an extension of the museum that we had last year. Because there was like a scene in the museum where you're in the north in a snowy biome. I tend to really like the scenery in the snowy biome ones. Because like if you're out on like a plain mountain or something, I feel like, and there's just snow covered treetops, it's really eerie. I do love that kind of vibe. So I'm not super excited yet just because I don't know exactly what's going on. I do have to watch through a lot of podcasts to catch up. I feel like I'm so behind. Usually by this time I've already been to the parks at least twice to check on HHN updates, and I have not. I don't know if I told y'all. That was a whole at least 20 minutes ago. But I do happen to go to Universal to do HHN prop updates in vertical form. So if that's something you're looking forward to, I am not blabbing my mouth on there. I just set it to good music. Not much to say because I don't know enough. I'm behind and need to learn more. Yeah. So Grave of Flesh is the next one. Also, no description. I'm behind. Don't know what's going on with that one. Not super anticipated. But as a reminder, I will be putting out a hype list where I research a little bit more once the last 2 houses. Honestly, I could probably put one together very, very soon. And then as soon as those last 2 houses are announced, then I can just add them in because I know where I'm going to put them already. So, yeah. All right. Another water break. This is a reminder for you too. You be drinking water. Now we're going to move on to scare zones. 4 scare zones have been announced. And I will say they are always my most anticipated. I love sitting in the scare zones. I love grabbing food and just watching the actors act. I kind of ranted about that earlier. I know I did. But it's just so much fun getting the vibes. And also, as a fashionista, I get to watch other people who are into fashion. It's like my own personal idea of a catwalk. It's the most eerie catwalk ever, I guess. But I just love getting inspiration, not only from the guests' outfits, but also what they do this year, because it seems like it's going to be a super packed year. What they do with the costuming in general, because like a lot of times my outfits tend to fall closer to the costuming range. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to costuming, but I don't really feel like it's costuming because it's my own personal style of fashion. So anyways, let's actually talk about the origins of horror. The first scare zone that was announced, the one that everybody's expecting it to be very much the prologue. What is the word? I'm not good at English, but it's basically going to be the pages, what you're going to expect in the park. And for me, usually those scare zones have been lacking. The last really good one that I remember is the cyberpunk one. Oh, I think about that so often. They have the stilt ladies and the cyberpunk like little outfits with their like this electric blue and black, like kind of not leather, but it was like a shiny kind of fabric because there's no way they would put leather on those girls. It would be way too stinking hot. The glasses they wore, the makeup, like the scare zone set in general. They had little arcade games along the road. Oh my God. It was a gorgeous scare zone, and I miss it every single day. I know a lot more people are more aligned because I started going to HHN starting in 2017. I believe that was my first year going. So I don't have a wide variety of knowledge of HHN. I just know what I've been to for the most part until I forget because ADHD does that to you. But that scare zone is something I think about quite often. It's what inspired me to get back into, like, well, not at the time, but it's inspired me currently to get back into my old scene phase of wearing neons. One year for Halloween, I went as a highlighter. That's how much I love neons. So I'll show you guys the yarns that I have right here. I've talked about this previously, but a lot of you are probably here because I put HHN in the title. These yarns no longer exist, but this would have gone so hard in that scare zone. Oh my gosh. So anyways, getting back to topic, the origins of horror. It sounds interesting. I hope it's doing well because last year's opening scare zone, they called it a scare zone. It did not set the vibes. There were no vibes there. It was literally chainsaw people, and like the costumes were okay. They kind of like showed what you were walking into, but I think it lost its appeal because of how far away it is from the scare zones they represented. The Hollywood side was fine because you just walked from that one into Hollywood. I will agree the costumes were kind of like just draped, and I understood what the design and what the vision was, and I loved the fabric they used. It was gorgeous fabric, but yeah, it just looked like it was draped fabric. And that's kind of unfortunate because I feel like they could have done a little bit better, like making more wraithy looking outfits with that fabric. Last year was a little bit tough. I think it was a lot of people say that it was the budget holding them back, and it may or may not have been. As I know businesses, they have separate budgets. This is the same in public education. They have separate budgets for like one for maintenance, one for specifically food and beverage. I work food and beverage, so that's where my knowledge is. Food and beverage, they have some for scheduled hours, they have some for scheduled training time, they have sometimes for I guess call-in factors, I guess. There's also a budget for like bringing food in. There's a budget for also like your office supplies. There's budgets for like a bunch of different things, and usually that's set ahead of time, at least in October. I feel maybe later than October, but that's usually when the business year ends, is in October. So I don't necessarily believe that their budget was cut. I think that their budget went somewhere, like they had to pay a lot of money for one of the IPs. I feel like that was probably part of it. And then maybe because like inflation, things are getting a little bit more pricey, so who knows. Either way, their costuming budget didn't seem like they wanted to put it in that scare zone. I think they put it in to one of the house's costuming budgets personally. But anyways, getting back to this one, I have a feeling that this one's going to be really pretty. I did read up on it, and I can't think of anything about it right now because it's not my most anticipated. I think with the lighting package they have set it up, like if you've been to Universal or if you saw my update video or if you've seen anybody's update videos, they have lights, like the temporary HHN lights coming from the Minions buildings. I don't think that it's going to expand that way. I, however, believe that they are going to be able to put lights in there. I don't think they're allowed still, like it depends. It really depends on what deal they've worked out with the Illuminations company, if they can do a scare zone or not, because there's a lot of legality that goes into that. So seeing all the lights is kind of promising. I just don't believe that they're going to move the scare actors back there. I think they're able to do lights, and that might be their contribution to the scare zone. Hopefully it's more, but anyways. Next, water break. So this is the one I'm most anticipating. It's called Masquerade Dance with Death. Vampires Masquerade. I'm thinking Vanity Ball, and I know I mentioned it in a Zombie Chris Dreamport pot live stream that I'm thinking Vanity Ball, mostly because I'm hoping that these costumes are elaborate. I'm hoping that they're going for like not Edwardian, but like more Belle Epoque era. I think maybe it's been a while. I don't have a degree in this. I just really enjoy fashion history, and I specifically stick with the 1940s, 30s area. But like I think they're gonna maybe do that era, the ball gown era, because I feel like Masquerade feels more ball gown type for me. My husband has a really good memory when it comes to the leaked list for the scare zones, and right now it's pretty on top of it, like everything that's been released so far. So if you've seen that leaked list, it's very, very, very similar. So Masquerade, Dance with the Death, vampires. I love vampires. I personally dress more witchy, but I'm obsessed with all y'all who are into vampy. I try to do it and I just don't think I fit. But y'all are so gorgeous. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Vampires. Love vampires. Masquerade. They're going to have, I hope they do it like elaborate eye masks too. A lot of people were thinking Mardi Gras. So maybe it would, ooh, wait. What if it's Louisiana themed? So like Louisiana ball at like, I hate to say it, plantation. Like, think of that era with you guys, Interview with a Vampire. What if we get Interview with a Vampire type Masquerade? Stop. Okay. I want that. Please, Universal, please, please, please give us that era of historical costuming in this scare zone. I need it. I'll be there every single day. I will take promo videos. No, not really. But like, oh, that's what I need. That's what I need. Okay. I'm even more hyped for it now. This next one is the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. So this one's predicted to be out in the Central Park area. There is a stage up there right now. Some people are like, oh, it might be for UOAP nights. And I think Dylan Thomas was the one that announced or like said this, but I highly agree with him. They really don't do much for the UOAP nights. If they aren't going to go that hard for Rock the Universe gets separate stages. What is it? It's the Grad Bash nights. Because I know if you're watching this far into this, you've probably been over to IOA and you see when the Grad Bash sign little metal thing goes up. I can't remember. Trust. I only remember that because I think it was Jackie that says, "In trust we trust," and yeah, words. Anyways, those trusses for like Grad Bash and Grad Venture, all that, they're very lackluster, and that goes on for weeks. So they're not going to do that for just UOAP night. There's no way they're going to set up a larger stage for that just for UOAP. So that being said, we are predicting that this scare zone is probably not only going to be in that little narrow Central Park area. I love it there, but it's always so cramped, and I avoided it a lot last year. It's also one of those houses, like the scare zones that I usually get super hyped for because that's the scare zone that gets started first. And as evidenced, it is because there's that stage where they usually do promo stuff. And I hope they don't bait and switch us with a promo thing right there, like a huge promo thing. Usually, like sometimes they'll do like a huge cardboard promo thing, which is a really cute thing. I do really like that they're doing that because like at the end of the day, they are owned by a Comcast and they do happen to still focus on movies. I feel like that's a good partnership that they have with their uppers, I guess. Anyways, that's besides the point. This one looks like it's stretching out to that side where all those flags are near the animal actor stage, or yeah, that stage. And that's going to be so great because it's going to give us more opportunity because it feels so empty over there. There's the restrooms over there, they were the best restrooms last year because they were the quietest because nobody was going out that way. And then they were also a bit, hold on, my storage thing. Yeah. If last week's video doesn't turn out well, I apologize. It says insufficient disk space. So anyways, where was I? Going back to that stage, it's been so empty back there. The coldest, quietest restroom back there. Oh, I mean, some people were going back there anyways for the pizza fries, which it's a skip for me. Pizza fries were great. Like, if you've never had them, definitely try them out. They're a staple. Actually, some backstage story, because I was working at Universal at the time. They tried pulling pizza fries off the menu one year and people revolted. So that's why they're still there. Same with Twisted Taters, I believe. They tried to pull both of those, but because they're like one of those nostalgic ones, they're going to be on the menu for quite a while. So expect different variations to the pizza fries, but go with the classic one if you've never had it before. It's kind of like an initiation for the foodies of HHN, I feel like. That one or the Twisted Tater. Typically, I go for the Twisted Tater if I am trying to do like one classic thing. I don't do it often because it's just one of those like, yeah, it's really HHN season for some people, you know? I go for the Twisted Tater. We used to call it the suicide, I think, where we would do all three, but then they were told to stop doing that. And then on top of that, they were told to stop calling it that because obvious reasons. And yeah, I miss that, but they've been doing different flavors for it too, which is pretty nice. But yeah, anyways, going back to the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, that's going to be so nice to have that extended area. It's always so cramped in there, and I feel sad because, like, as somebody who spends the majority of their time in the scare zones, I feel like I wasn't able to really capture the environment of the scare zones. I feel like I wasn't able to really get any, like, good action in there because I love showing off the actors. Like, I want to be one of those people that just have those videos in hand for actors that want to see themselves while they're actually acting and not just like, I don't know, because I just like putting spotlights on the actors. So that's kind of my thing. I think that this will give us an extra opportunity, and because it's in black and white. Oh, fun fact about this one too. This was like a little poster in the Slaughter Cinema House last year. You probably already know that fact if you made it this far, but in Slaughter Cinema, it was a little poster in one of those rooms, which I think is really cute that that's a thing because honestly, yeah, that's amazing. I think this scare zone is going to be really nice. I think it's going to have like a lot of orange lights. A lot of people are hoping like for the trick or treat vibes because they had all those pumpkins and that orange hue in there was just gorgeous. It was a nice quiet zone and it was just very like, it was traditional. And I love the traditionalness of Halloween. I think that's going to be really fun. Obviously, I love the traditionalness of Halloween. I already showed you, but traditional kind of he's not traditional in general, but like that's the only popcorn bucket. That one and the star one from Mario Super Nintendo Land over in Hollywood. I got mine there. Those are the only two popcorn buckets that I own, and probably will be the only ones I ever own because I use them as purses. But I don't know. I think that's just it's going to be a good scare zone. This is so stacked. I'm very excited. And last announced as of today is Mutations Toxic 20s. It's BuzzCon. Okay, well, let me read this description. This is my first time reading the description. So, in a 1920s neighborhood, a BuzzCon truck with a radioactive cargo crashes into a mobster getaway car, sending the city into toxic pandemonium. Okay, so this one's related to a lot of houses. It's related to the Scary Ohio series. I wonder, so Boris Schuster is also part of it. And I think he's kind of based in the 1920s. And if I'm remembering correctly, he's like a newspaper article writer. I don't entirely know his background story, but I know he's tied in with like that. BuzzCon, okay, so it was also supposed to be rumored to be dealt with, what's his name? It's Major Sweets. He is tied in with BuzzCon. BuzzCon is also tied in with that 1950s house that was like the Bugs house. I believe BuzzCon was also part of that. And I think he has some tie-in with Oddfellow. Spoilers for like the rest of the video, I guess, because I haven't gotten around to washing my face because I just don't feel like it. I want to correct this portion. I thought that I heard somewhere that Major Sweets was involved with the BuzzCon stuff. I may be wrong about that. I don't remember where I heard that from, but what I actually meant was the zombie clowns in Slaughter Cinema last year was involved with BuzzCon. That for sure 100% was a thing. Scary Ohio, the Bugs house, definitely involved with BuzzCon. I feel like I, for some reason, connected Major Sweets and Dr. Oddfellow through BuzzCon, and I don't know why I did that. I feel like there's something somewhere that had me think that Major Sweets was involved with BuzzCon. There's I think the channel is called Mammoth Club. Molly is the main character. She did do a walkthrough tour last year, and she has really great memory. She's formerly a VIP tour guide at Disney, so she has that kind of knowledge about theme parks. I love watching theme park channels that have like that kind of knowledge behind the parks. She talked about something along the lines of BuzzCon being involved with another house that wasn't the Slaughter Cinema one. So definitely go watch that video. I think it's her video of like how she spent like over 3,200 on RIP tours and all that. A little pricey, but very grateful that there's people out there that take that kind of investigative journalism into effect, because it could never be me. I don't have the memory in my brain for that. So yeah, definitely check that one out, because there is so much lore behind the whole BuzzCon thing. The BuzzCon for, I think the zombie clown, I think that's why I connected it to Dr. Oddfellow, because Dr. Oddfellow was involved with clowns. And then, you have Jack the clown, that's all involved with Dr. Oddfellow. So that's probably why I connected the two. But for some reason, I really, really, really feel like the not Dr. Oddfellow, Major Sweets is connected. So anyways, back to the original channel. Oh, also, before I forget, because I'll probably forget by the end of this video, Apollo's doing okay. The doctor prescribed him with old. He's 9 years old. And the doctor basically said, hey, he shouldn't be jumping up into bed anyways. Being a tweenie, being a chihuahua in general, like they shouldn't be jumping up that much because they're prone to a lot of back problems. And the wiener dog in him, the dachshund in him, also back problems. He won't use the ramp, so we gotta teach him how to do it. Tika has learned how to do it, but she's also very food motivated. Apollo is very hesitant about the stuff. He's scared of everything because he's a chihuahua. But yeah, he was just prescribed with old. So he's on some muscle relaxer or muscle supplements. Joint supplement, that's what it is. So he's taking one pill a day, and these pills are huge, but he's getting a tortilla every day, so lucky for him. Anyways, that's an update, and I'll probably interject every now and then. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I have much to interject with. Oh, also, apologies for the many times that the mic capped out, because peaked. That's the word. I'm still learning how to use a mic. I was using just the straight microphone from the phone for a while. I'm not realizing how loud I get when I'm excited. I know I get loud when I'm excited. That's just who I am in general. But I'm going to try to get better about that, because I myself hate peaking mics. So I do apologize. All right, back to the video. If you know more about this story, please feel free to info dump at me. I will read the comment, and I will try to respond back as well as I can, but I'm not good at responding at comments right now because I am overloaded with comments, because 2 weeks ago I felt very social, and then all of a sudden my social meter was gone. You know this if you have ADHD. But yeah, I'm overwhelmed with messages right now. So right now I'm only able to respond to business messages. So speaking of, I do have an Etsy shop for all my berets. I mentioned this last week, but I finally have the Etsy with all the berets. My Ko-fi is going to be cheaper if you want to go ahead and look at those, because it's a lot less brain power with that one as opposed to Etsy. So feel free to look at my Ko-fi. But anyways, no more talk about that. I think this is all related to Schuster, and I feel like it's their tie-in of breaking away from Jack the Clown, because you can only do Jack the Clown for so long. I love the tie-in with him and Oddfellow. The Oddfellow year was really good. I really liked that, how everything. I will say it was a little bit hard finding the storyline in the scare zones, because I don't think all the characters always had a scar on them, because there was a specific message. So there was the 1920s scare zone with Oddfellow, and that was that year's Central Park scare zone. That one, Obviously, he didn't have the scar on him because he hadn't met Jack yet, as far as I know. And then on top of that, it was before the powers overtook him, I feel like. I can't remember the exact story, but it's something along those. And you were supposed to be able to see him in all 5 of the scare zones. And it was very obvious in the opening scare zone in the Hollywood area because he had his own stage. He had his own little bandwagon and all that. Like, he had all of that. It was very obvious he was there. But there was like a 1940s scare zone, which, let's get back to the costuming thing. My husband reminded me of it because of the 1920s. It was forgettable. As somebody who was in 1940s fashion, and that was the most anticipated scare zone for me that year, it ended up being probably my least favorite because there was only one character dressed up in 1940s, and even then it wasn't really like obviously 1940s. It was just a sailor outfit, and I think they were a masked character. I can't remember if it was like a wolf thing or something. So he didn't even have a hat, like no sailor cap, as far as I remember. So like, I was really, really disappointed in that because nothing felt 1940s. And then on top of that, they did kind of have like 1940s like Midwest style in there, but it wasn't really obvious that it was 1940s. It was just like overalls over long sleeve. Like that's, yeah. I couldn't get a good look at anybody to know who was Oddfellow because I don't remember a character being there that had a scar on their face because at that point he was supposed to have a scar, as far as I know. So that tie-in is about the costuming for this. I hope that this at least takes some inspiration from that one house that was like a replacement house because a deal fell through. It was like no, that was the same year. It's not the same house. So it was like a speakeasy house. And I do remember some of the outfits, and I think they went really flappery with it. And I'm hoping that this isn't entirely flappery because it says in a 1920s neighborhood. I'm hoping they do like actual outfits from them from the 1920s and not flappers, because flappers were a subtype, like they were a subculture. 1920s outfits go hard. The detective outfits, I can see that like being a thing. I can see the bowler hats happening. I think that was 1920s. It's probably not, but it could be around that time. The longer, boxier dresses, that's more nightwear, but even that would be really nice. I'm really hopeful, but I'm not too like excited to see it. I mean, I am excited. Like this year, I'm saying it's a stacked HHN Scare Zone year. I'm so pumped. I'm just hoping the costuming is okay. So as of now, because I think there might be one more Scare Zone that will be announced. As of now, my top like 4 is going to be Masquerade Dance with Death. What was else? Probably the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. I'm indecisive on this because I really, really want Mutation's Toxic 20s to be really good as a historical fashion enthusiast. I want it to be very, very good. I think that's going to be number 2 for me. And then number 3 is going to be Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. And then number 4 is going to be Origins of Horror. Is that what they called it? Yeah, the Origins of Horror. So that's top 4 for now. It'll probably be moved around. I will be posting a hype list eventually. I just got to get around to it. So, all right. No more talking. I'm going to drink lots of water and keep on doing this. And then eventually I'll make it to the sewing room for the actual content of this video. All right. I am done sewing all the stars so far. There's 6 of them. They're all in here. I have plenty of space to add more, so I'm done for that for tonight. I did finish sewing up this beret, so I gotta go put it in the side room later. But also, since I'm working on this is the sleeve for my Defrosting Skelly Shrug. I'm realizing that I used 2 different colors of black, and they don't match. Hopefully nobody will notice. I don't think many people will notice. It's black on white, so it's fine. You can't notice in the camera, see? So I'm not too concerned about people noticing, but I can notice it. And as I've said before, we are our own worst critics. So keep that in mind when you're making the Skelly Shrug, the Frosting Skelly Shrug. It's my own pattern, so if you're interested, I have it on my Etsy and Ko-fi. But yee. All right, we're gonna finish this up while watching or catching up with Zombie Chris's Dolls Let's Play Dead live stream because I want to know more about it. I want to know every little detail about it before I go. Hello, we're finally in the sewing room. It's like 11 something p.m., but I haven't found the willpower to do any sewing until just now because I was just so busy trying to crochet up a whole bunch of stuff and fill in. No, that's not right. Sew the pieces together. This is Apollo. Hello, buddy. He's not feeling well. I'm in the room. I just finished cutting out. This is view C on Simplicity 1426. So view C is going to be, sorry, I'm talking with like that influencer voice. Please forgive me. Ew, disgusting. Anyways, view C is this one right here. The one my index finger is pointing at. And the back of it, I am going to kind of like change the back because the back of it kind of has it like looped or like tied. I hate that. I got tickle bitties, and because of that, everything's uncomfortable if it's hanging from my neck. It's so uncomfortable. So instead, I'm going to kind of like fashion it the same way that view B is. So I'm going to crisscross in the back because C is basically the same thing, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I have it all cut out right now, and I have my tracing paper right here. It's not tracing paper. I don't know what it's called, but I basically trace my patterns onto it. That way, I don't have to ruin this. I mean, I already ruined it by cutting it out, but honestly, this is for me at this point. And that way I still have the rest of the pattern because like I am going for the size 12 because 12 says it goes up to size Euro 38. I should have read this. Give me 1 second while I learn how to read. Well, this is a pattern that's too small for me. We'll make it work though. I am going to probably be lenient on my seam allowance. So I feel like I'm a 36 bust, and 36 bust would be pattern size 14. This goes up to pattern size 12. I hate the non-standardization of patterns, but we will have to do what we can do. So I will probably be purchasing more of this pattern in however many ways they have before Simplicity completely liquidates, because Lord knows the sewing community is hurting right now. So yeah, I'm tracing this out for myself so that I can have multiple copies of it, so that like whenever I do finally find like the willpower to start making or sewing clothes for other people, besides that last commission I did for Erie Knots, I still don't believe that I have the strength and courage to be putting out clothing, like sewn clothes, yet. But it is coming. Believe you me, it will be coming. This is a dream of mine to become a fashion designer. The first step is having multiple sizes of a pattern. So anyways, yeah, we're tracing pattern right now while waiting for my husband to get home. I probably won't be cutting out any of the pattern today. Maybe. Because like at this moment, I'm still not sure how I want to do this. So let's point back at C. C looks like this. Let me show you the front of it because I don't have it out right now. This is what C looks like. And then the back of it, I'm going to do this, right? So C has, you can see that the cup size or cup whatever is one sheet of fabric or whatever, and then you have a different fabric right here, and then you have a different fabric right here. So the thought process is to make this yellow, this blue, or flip that. I think I would rather have this yellow. Well, no, I think I want the middle blue and then the outlining to be yellow, because the shorts that I'm going to use are going to be blue, and then the bolero I'm using is going to be blue. If I were to have gone with this one, I probably, which was the initial idea, I probably would have done like this all blue and then this all yellow, or vice versa, or just all yellow or all blue. At this point, I still think I want to do multiple colors just in case I want to take the bolero off. So yeah, I think for sure blue, yellow, and if I don't like it, I can always make another one. Honestly, I have that backup fabric up there because I didn't know I had all that yellow fabric on top of this yellow fabric, which is a different yellow, but it will do the job. So if anything, I have backup plans. Good afternoon. What day is it? I don't care what day it is. It is sewing cutting day. I finally got all of my pieces cut out. Most of them are sitting over there in that pile, right there somewhere. So that's the top, like the bodice piece or like the shirt piece, and then also the shorts. But right over here in this pile, I have these and these. I just finished doing the darting. I am terrible at vlogging while I sew. Like, I'm not smart enough at sewing or talented enough. Let's say that. I'm not talented enough in sewing to say like what exactly I'm doing. I know what darts are. I know what hems are. I know what sewing. I should have changed my needle. I'm going to change my needle. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, the reason why I got on here was because my husband reminded me a new Streetmosphere thing has been announced for HHN. And because I love HHN, and honestly, this is probably going to be an HHN vlog anyways, they're doing a Mel's Die-In like show. They've already done some testing in the parks for the lights. Like, I mean, they don't have to do, I mean, they do have to do the testing to make sure that the lights aren't out yet. But I think they're doing some rehearsals. One of my favorite things about this time of year during HHN is the like going out and prop hunting and all that. And I am one of those that are like super observant because I mean, I just like looking at things. I normally am the type of person that will be able to see when they're testing lights because I look up. I don't just like straight go. And I think it's because I go to the park so often. That reminds me, I am going on Saturday. So yeah, look out for that. Well, that vlog will come out, or that little shorts will come out before this comes out. But I am going out Saturday to do my first like official prop hunting like thing, and I'm so stoked about it because I don't feel like I know I'm not a big HHN creator when it comes to shorts content. When I do HHN content, it's literally just me just showing off things that I find interesting. And a lot of times it's just props. And during the HHN time period, it's actually like the characters and the facades and all that, as much as I can get, right? And then the wait times as well and the foods. I just love HHN. Okay. Anyways, the Mel's Die-In. So as far as we know, it's like a little Streetmosphere show thing. And it's sock hop. I think that's what they described it as. I don't feel like pulling it up because my other phone has Minecraft on it. I'm watching the Life series right now. It's one of my favorite Minecraft series. If you haven't watched it, it's a lot of fun. It's just a bunch of friends having fun together, like doing something that's not as artistic and doing something like just get their brain off of the arts. Because like as an artistic person, you can't just do art all the time. You'll burn yourself out. And it's one of the reasons why I switched between crochet and sewing is because like I can't just do sewing for the rest of my life. I simply cannot just break my back every single day because I don't have a proper sewing table, you know. I don't have that much fabric. I mean, I do have fabric in my stash, but it's not fabric that I'm interested in anymore for the most part because my style has evolved and changed. And same with crochet. Now that I'm kind of out of my crochet mode, I'm kind of tired of making berets. It's not that I'm tired, extremely tired of it. It's just that I want to do something else. I don't want to burn out on one of my things. And that's kind of like, this is off topic of HHN. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, going back to the Mel's Die-In thing, I think there was something else posted on Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I mean, I do have Facebook, but I only use it on my PC. I meant to look at the HHN group last night before going to bed, but I just forgot. My husband has a Facebook on his phone. I deleted the app. He sent me a picture of Mel's Die-In, which I already knew about because I get my messages from Discord. Like Discord keeps me updated on releases and all that. And there was like another picture attached to it, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it's going to be nice to have another Streetmosphere thing because a long time ago, way back in my day when I first started going, back in 2017, they used to have Academy of Villains dancing right in front of Mel's. And I know that was a big draw. I know that one of the reasons why Academy of Villains made it over to the Fear Factor stage was because one, Bill and Ted's was gone, but two, like they actually draw in quite a large crowd. So I think this is going to probably draw in a large crowd as well. Another dance show is really good. I think that's something that HHN does very well, is the entertainment aspect. There's a lot of money that goes into entertainment and entertainers during HHN. So like whenever the prices go up, it sucks because like I'm scared to be priced out soon, especially with all the bills that are racking up on us right now. And then on top of that, like the tourism industry, it's a little bit hard right now to feel safe in the tourism industry work wise. I can always pick up shifts, and that's why I'm like really stressed about having my crochet art and like just sewing in general get out there into the world and hopefully make sales. I just hate advertising. It's just not my favorite thing. And it's soul sucking. I will say this every single time I have to talk about advertising for my Etsy shop. It is soul sucking, but I just like, it's stressful with the prices going up. However, I know that the money is going to better entertainment in the park because HHN does entertainment so well. I mean, like Universal itself was a movie production company way back in the day. So it's good to see that they're still pumping money into their entertainment crew and all that. And the fact that it's different all the time. It's not always the same, like, 3 characters. It's good to see that they're refreshing. Like, specifically, I want to talk about Igor at Epic Universe. Phenomenal casting for those Igors. Like, there's 1 or 2 that remind me of Spieling Peter. And if you are as old as I am, old as dirt, back on the Tumblr days, you probably know what I'm referencing to with Spieling Peter. Dangerous, I will say, when the fangirls got to him. I think Spieling Peter, honestly, like, he aged out, but I think it was more of a safety issue for him. He was being stalked, and I think he was also doxxed, and it's just not fair or right to be doing that for this characters or character actors in in general. You shouldn't be doxing anybody. You shouldn't be looking up their real name. They are actors, and you should try your best to detach the actor from the character, you know? It's a lot like watching movies. Like, you know, first name popped in my mind, Robert Downey Jr. He's an actor, but he's also his own separate person. And I think that's something that people that go to like live action things don't really understand, like the separation you have to do. Anyways, I don't remember where I was going with this. I just know that I'm excited for a new show, a new something to do, because right now, like, I love the scare zones. That's absolutely, I was expecting one more scare zone to be announced today. Maybe tomorrow they'll announce it, or tomorrow they'll announce the stage show, Nightmare Fuel. I am hoping they do something a little bit different. Last year was a little bit different. I only go once a year because I just can't stand being crammed in with so many people in a really hot, sweaty stadium. We usually go in the September time, so it's not as packed to get in. But that's one of the reasons why Nightmare Fuel has been packed. 1, everybody talks about it because it's literally the only show. And 2, it's literally the only show. So I think this is going to be really great for HHN, like, experiences. And like, I think this is something that we've wanted. If you see how popular the Megan dance troupe has been, I think this is another thing along those lines. I'm not the biggest fan of Megan. I understand the hype behind her and all that. I understand the guerrilla marketing really, really helped. And that's why it's hard to catch them. And I think that's another reason why it's one of those, like, oh, you have to see Megan. And it's because they're kind of elusive. If you see the attention to people wanting to watch these shows, wanting to have, it's not going to be a sit down experience. If I remember correctly, the Academy of Villains definitely was not a sit down experience. So it's going to be one of those, like, you're going to have to stand and watch it, but at least you'll be out of the roads. And I think another thing with that is, like, me personally, I like to go and purchase food during the times that are like really busy, I guess. So most people will run to the houses and that's all they care about. I am really passionate about the foods. I used to work in food and beverage. My husband's a culinarian. We both love food. Whenever we go on vacation and travel, that is our thing. Like, we have to make sure there's good food, and then we have to make sure there's like something that historical for me to want to do as well. Something about like maybe tourism in general. I don't try to go to the super touristy places. This isn't what this is about, though. I think that this will help with me wanting to purchase more food, which is good for all of us foodies who are really into the eating culture of HHN. It's gotten exponentially better since I started going back in 2017. And I'm really excited to see the food booths start popping up. So anyways, we're going to continue with the sewing. Like I said, I'm at the darts part. I think my dog's in here, but I don't see him. There he is. Okay. We're at the darts part. By the way, we made an appointment for him, and we had to remind ourselves how old he is. He's 9.5-ish, a little bit over 9.5, maybe 9 3/4. His birthday's in October, and he's going to be 10. He's been in my life for nearly 10 years. My little puppy, my little baby. All right. Okay. So we're going to do these darts. I think I'm going to be able to finish this bandeau or whatever it's called, bathing suit. I didn't do lining for this because I don't have lining material, and plus I'm not planning on wearing it as like a actual bathing suit. So I did do like multiple cuts of the fabric, and I did do interfacing because you can see it on this one. I have interfacing on it. I want to be better about using interfacing. It will be a little bit more expensive on my clothes, but if I want to perfect my craft, I need to be able to use all the materials and notions that I'm supposed to do, change my needle when I'm supposed to, which is supposed to be every single time you start a new project or every 8 hours. I haven't changed that needle in a while, and I'm sorry, Erie Knots, I didn't change my needle for your project, but hopefully you're still okay with it. But I need to get better about doing the right things as a proper sewist. So, all right, getting the darts done. Stop blabbing. Okay, so this might be a me thing, and I'm sorry to like talk about this, but like, okay, so whenever there's somebody that you're unsure how they feel about you, and they comment on your thing, basically saying, "Oh, dang it, I pulled the thread." Anyways, basically confirming that they do like you. Oh, that's the best feeling in the world. Like, I get nervous because I have really bad rejection sensitivity, right? And I just feel like everybody hates me all the time, but it's just so reassuring. Like, my mood is so boosted. I feel so good. By the way, this is how far I've gotten. So I'm not really having an easy time reading the instructions, not gonna lie, but I think I know what the general idea is for this because I have worked with lining before. And so I have one of the cups done. Like, yeah, they're all darted. And then this is the front flap. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to do another cup on the opposite side and then flip that right side out. And I think that's how it's working out. So yeah, this is working out a lot faster than I thought it would. I think I might be able to finish this today. And I really, really, really hope that it fits me because it says it's a 34 and I am not a 34 and I don't want to go out and buy another pattern because I'm trying not to spend any more money. Like, those medieval time tickets were a little expensive. And like, I even got like a 15% discount or 20% discount or whatever because it's summer. And boy, oh boy, my wallet just got hit with bills. So, all right. Yeah. Continuing on. Real quick, I want to show you guys how clean those stitches are because I changed the needle. I know I need to do it more often, but I'm just cheap and poor and lazy. So look how pretty that is. Right now I'm on the part where I turn the cloth inside out. Let me show you real quick. So we have the lining side and then we have the normal side. This is the normal side or the front side, and then this is the lining side. This side doesn't have any interfacing, but once I'm done, I can flip it in and then we'll have a nice little collar. It doesn't look good right now, but trust me, I'm so close to finishing this. I don't have the buttons. And by the way, with the straps, I'm planning on making these straps button on for both sides. That way I can use it as like a halter top style, or I can use it as like a cross section style, or I can use it as a straight down section style. I don't know. I just kind of want to make it interchangeable. One of my favorite things about fashion is making interchangeable clothes. Jesus. And I love being able to like fashion it separately. So I think what also can happen with this, because I'm making it the buttons interchangeable, it can just be a regular crop top, or not crop top, halter, tube top, kind of. Not really a tube top, but that's kind of the thought process with that. This is a prototype. I say that with like literally every single project. The reason why I do projects is because like I want to get better, and I also want to like eventually sell some of my work, because honestly, like this is a really fun hobby, and sometimes I just want to do it without making content, because like I don't know, I feel like I'm not a content creator, although I do put out content. I feel like I'm one of those types of people that like just likes to post, and then I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting like really weird about this, but I want to be able to fund my hobbies, and right now my job isn't doing it. And the issue with my job is that I can't handle having a full-time job. I've tried it before, and I've realized that because of my sensory issues, I can't do it. Being neurodiverse makes it really, really hard to have a normal job. And I'm very lucky that my work allows me to be backstage most times, where I can listen to music and just organize, do whatever. But sometimes it gets really, really tough when I'm not able to do so. And yeah, I can't do that 5 days a week. I want to have another job, but like also I think that my availability isn't the best, because I can only do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the only time I feel comfortable going into work. I hate when it's really, really slow. And yeah, that's probably why I burn out of jobs so easily. But I just want to be able to fund my hobbies, because like I do a lot of it just to relax too. And like I think that's kind of why I'm not pushing myself to make patterns or do all these releases. I have a bunch of stuff inside my closet that I could make as a release, but I don't want to push myself to do it, because if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. The berets, I'm feeling. And like eventually, I feel like I'm going to be able to feel making skirts. And I don't know. I just think it'd be fun to do that as like a relaxation thing. Right now, I'm watching one of my favorite series, and I'm able to work through sewing. If not that, I'm listening to music and to work through it. And it's not that I want it to be like a full-time job. I just want it to be something that makes me some side money, you know? Anyways, getting back to this. My wall whack order's here. So we're going to open this up. I'm pretty sure I remember everything I ordered. It was like literally 4 days ago. It came on pretty quickly. So this is great, because I am almost done with this top, and I need to get the buttons started, like painting over the buttons, because I want them to have time to dry before I put them on there. And on top of that, I know me hates doing buttonholes, and me wants to wait until the very last second to do buttonholes. So that would be perfect. That way I can start sewing up another portion of this, probably the shorts, because the zipper's in here. I know it is. And then after that, I'll get to the bolero, because the buttons on there are buttons on there. So I didn't think that they were going to deliver the buttons like this. I think they're separated. I hope so, because this is only the big ones. I know I ordered more buttons. Where's the rest of them? Hello, buttons. Oh, they're at the bottom. Little tiny ones. These are teeny weeny. So I'm going to get some paint out. A thank you. 5 more zippers, because I just want to have them in my inventory. It's never safe, or never too safe. Safer than sorry. Hello. But yeah, and then we have the yellow one. I don't know why they gave me a whole plastic bag for this one, but we got one yellow one. So all right, well, that was a super easy thing to do. I'm grateful that this is a thing that Wawak has, and that it's quick, because honestly, I don't, if it would have taken longer like Michael's does or Joanne's does, then I probably would have lost interest in this, whatever I'm doing. So all right, let's get back into it. Oh, I guess I can give you guys another update before we get back into it. So I am this far now. I'm pinning down the edges so I can just go ahead and sew right over them. And then I'm going to fold this in, and then I'm going to sew over that. I thought I was going to do like my specialty thing where I just like kind of sew down the insides, but I changed my mind on that. And the inside, almost looks reversible because the way I did it, I have all the like edges on the inside, which is really, really nice. So, all right, I'm so excited. This is going so well. All right, so we're at a point where I'm using a chopstick to turn this around because I don't have one of those fancy schmancy tools to do the little turning thing. So this is all I got. And it's working. Like, chopsticks are super utility because I can use them for Ami sticks, which is what this one normally is. I just had to go over to the other room to grab it. So I might actually open another pair of chopsticks to keep in this room so I don't have to get up. But after I'm done with this, I have this one too. So these are the straps, by the way. I might go take a break because I haven't eaten since last night. And that was like over 4 hours ago. Definitely over 4 hours ago. It's like 7 p.m. now. So I don't remember if I told y'all, but this is done. It's a little bit tight, but I think that's fine because I think that is a good sign for me to be able to wear it as like just a regular kind of tube top style. I'm probably not ever going to wear it that way just because I don't like the way it fits that way. But it's really like, I don't know. I'm excited to see this all worked up. I have the buttons painted, well, at least one side of the buttons painted, and they're drying. They're probably already dry. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I don't think I'm getting to the buttons. I know I'm not getting to the buttons tonight. So that's something I may do in like 5 days. I'll probably just work on everything else until then. Also, I'm listening to Ashbury Heights Radio on Spotify, and if I had discovered them when I was in high school, I would have absolutely, I still like them. I really like them, but I would have probably, my whole life would probably be different. So Ashbury Heights is a good band, and I'm kind of sad that I need to take a break because it's a good mix, but it's a lot of industrial on this, and it might be just because personally I'm into industrial right now. So, all right, for realsies. Okay, so I am currently watching and catching up with HHN content, what's new, and we're also doing some more stars. I have 2 pretty much done, and then 3, this would make 3. You already saw my little jar, or my popcorn bucket full of stars, to keep me and y'all in the loop, I guess, since if you're watching this far, I doubt that you're coming to me for information, but I'm just going to info dump at you anyways. It looks like the other thing that was announced with Mel's Die-In, the show, is going to be called Club Horror. That's what the other thing is. Some people are speculating it's going to be like the bar area. So in the San Francisco area, there's usually a bar area like in the back behind Richter's. Not Richter's. Yes, Richter's. They like usually have like a bar area. No, Lombardi's. I don't know. I'm not rich enough to eat there. There's usually like a little party area back there. That's where David S. Pumpkins is or was. And I know that some of y'all love David S. Pumpkins. I, however, have really, really bad social anxiety. And I think one time did I get to try a drink from back there, even though the drinks looked really good. Only one time did I get to try anything because I was so scared that he was going to come out and talk to me. And I would just like literally everything else I was involved with HHN, fine, not scared, whatever. It's just a little jump scare. That literally heart attack. Like my heart is like kind of thumping now thinking about it. So yeah, that's the area that some people are speculating this Club Horror is going to be. For me, it's either there or over at the Red Coconut Club, because usually they do something that coincides with the event, which is super neat. Last year they had a vampire themed one, and oh, it was so good. The music was incredible, and I want them to just like keep those vibes going. Maybe one day I'll start going by myself. I'm just like really nervous to go to clubs by myself, especially since I feel like I'm going to be one of the only ones dancing, and I don't want to dance because I need a lot of liquid courage to dance. I like dancing. I learned that when I went to Vampire Ball, but I just don't want to do it by myself, and I'm too scared to meet new people. Most people are going there just to like wait out the crowds for HHN opening. It's what we've done a couple times. And oh my gosh, I just remember there was a year that they did like an 80s arcade or late 80s, early 90s arcade, and that was such a good layover as well. I'm really excited to see what they do this year. It's probably going to be something different. It's probably going to, if they do like a vampire goth thing, oh, I love it when they do the vampire stuff. I am a lover of vampires. Y'all are so freaking cute. All the vampire goths out there love you. Anyways, yeah, so there's also that stage area at the Fast and Furious exit that could be like a DJ booth because it's been a DJ booth area before, as in like during special events. And I want to say Grad Bash, Grad Venture, but I wouldn't know though because I never attended my Grad Venture or Grad Bash. I didn't get to go. Like it wasn't an opportunity until Grad Bash. I just didn't go because it was like it was $20, and back then that was a lot of money to me. And like still $20 is a lot, but like I just felt bad for asking my parents to go, so I never went to my Grad Venture or Grad Bash, whatever the high school one was. I never went. Anyways, it'd be really neat if they had it there, but that's always been like a bottleneck in general. But if that's what that scare zone is, if it's not like so, okay. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. If you want to pause to read, feel free, but I'm going to put it in not shorts. I'm going to put it in TikTok and probably just there. But I don't know where else to put it because I don't know. TikTok's not really, or YouTube Shorts doesn't really have the photo thing. So maybe I'll do like a short little thing. I don't know. We'll see. Usually there's 5 scare zones, and it was speculated the 5th one to be like a Blumhouse one, which I'm not thrilled about. So I already put it at number 5. But if this little club horror thing is going to be the extra scare zone, instead of a scare zone, we'll get a dance area, I wouldn't be offended. I wouldn't mind if that's the thing. Because, like, so it's a bottleneck, 1, because it's a very narrow walkway. And then 2, there's an exit there. It's a crossway. So there's, like, no other way to escape it. You can't go behind buildings. Usually what we try to do, like, there's the San Francisco cart, and we'll walk behind the cart, even though it's a very tiny area. We just don't want to walk with everybody because, like, it's just so crowded there. And I think the Blumhouse zone being there was the worst. I almost never went down that way because I just don't care for Blumhouse that much. The phone was piercing, and I have sound sensitivities, so it's just not for me. And like, I just don't like how many people are just stopped in the middle of the walkway, which is like honestly kind of the point now. I get it. I understand why it's happening, and I understand why that scare zone existed. It just feels like that wasn't a big enough space for what they wanted. So if they make that area just the club horror, I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with it. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow to post this. The scare zone one, at least. The houses, I'm going to wait until they finally announce the last 2 houses. I think FNAF is going to be the last trailer they put out. We already know FNAF is coming, but we don't know when that trailer is coming out. And then WWE, it's pretty positive it's coming. I don't think that would be a big last like draw in. I think FNAF would be a bigger closer to the announcement week. So I'm going to continue making stars and catching up on HHN content. I'm going to watch Liz. I love Liz. Good morning. It is 8:15 a.m. I don't have to be clocked in for another 45 minutes. This is my defense mechanism against my own ADHD. I show up really early to work and I just sit in my car. But today I don't feel like scrolling through TikTok, at least not yet. I realized while driving over that I didn't really talk about club horror in the sense of what the environment might be like. I think I talked about it in the sense of where it's going to be. And I am more positive now that it's going to be in the San Francisco area. I watched Dylan Thomas's video last night, about like a new not stanchion, like a portal / truss being put up right between the train station and the San Francisco area, like backstage in the team member area. So my thought process is they are moving around entrances and exits. So I feel like the Fast and Furious, so that's projected to be the Jason house. And I have a feeling that they're moving the entrance to the Jason house on that side and then making the exit on the other side of Fast and Furious. That way the club area won't be as congested, which is going to be really, really great. As somebody who wants to enjoy that area, because I have a big, strong feeling that I will, or it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be I really, really love the area, or I don't. Hold on, let me turn off my AC. I'm getting cold. I also parked underneath a tree. It's a good sign. I was able to find a shade tree. I'm already parked under another building tree, so that's wonderful news. The only bad thing about today is probably that it's going to be 95-degree weather, because today is going to be the first day that I actually go prop hunting, like properly prop hunting. And I'm very, very excited. I have a feeling there's going to be at least one prop while I go out there. I'll know by the time I get over there because I'm sure my husband will send me a text about a prop that's gone up through the Facebook group. Anyways, going back to Club Horror, I want good music. I do not want Neil Diamond, please. Okay, so the last time I went to a DJ'd event at Universal, it was like a K-pop night at Club Penguin, not Club Penguin, Red Coconut Club. And when we showed up a little bit late because my husband and I, we had our shifts and then we just went over there after our shift, like at 11 something p.m. And like, I believe the club stays open till 2 a.m. By the time we got there, they had no K-pop music playing. And I made a post about it last year. It was last summer. I made a post about it because it was really frustrating to have gone all that way, get dressed up after work to just listen to Latin nights, you know? I love Latin music. I do. I love oh well, I won't say I love club music. I do like certain kinds of club music, but I really, really love the idea of going to like a K-pop night and watching people dance to K-pop dances. Like that's what I wanted. That's absolutely what I wanted. And they weren't playing any K-pop music. When I made the post, somebody like commented on my post and was like, yeah, we got there early and they played like 2 songs. And then somebody else had mentioned, yeah, the DJ said that nobody was dancing to it, so he changed over. And it's like, why would they advertise K-pop music if the DJ has no idea what K-pop music is? And apparently what they played was like BTS and then Girls' Generation or something, which is like, by this time we're on Gen 5. BTS is solidly Gen 3. So why are we doing this? Getting back to topic about Club Horror, please, Universal, hire a DJ that's been in the alternative club scene. Hire a DJ that's been in the goth club scene. I will even take emo music at this point. I want EBM. I want trance. I want dark wave. I want post punk. I want industrial. Oh, industrial would go so hard. I will even I hate to say this, but I will even take hardstyle at this point. I would love 2010s hardstyle because I recently got on that kick for a little bit. Modern hardstyle is just a lot of screeching, and although I do love noisecore, I don't think I like modern day hardstyle. It's just a little bit too much noise and not enough melody. I'll take melodic metal. I'll take metal. Please, Universal, please, 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 please. As somebody who loves music, as a group of people that love music, because I know I'm not the only one that was offended about hearing Neil Diamond. Don't give us just the Killers. Okay, so the Killers are kind of in the same line as Neil Diamond is at this point. I love the Killers. I had one of their albums downloaded through YouTube to MP3. Yeah. So I like the Killers. However, I just need good music. I need this to be, it doesn't need to be flawless, but I need this to be something that's actually from somebody who's passionate about goth subculture, somebody who's in the alternative subculture, somebody who's been DJ'd before at a goth club, alternative club, whatever. I that's what I need. And if it's not executed right, I'm going to be so upset with y'all. I'm going to be, because you guys have the money. You guys have the money to hire a DJ that knows what they're doing. You guys have team members. I know there's a ton of goth team members. They compliment my outfits all the time. Please take inspiration. This isn't supposed to be a complainy post, but I just remembered that. Why do I want to keep on calling it Club Penguin? The Red Coconut Club. The music there last year, when they did the vampire overlay, it was pretty solid. Whoever did the playlist for that, get them to do it. Even if you don't want to hire a DJ, if you want to hire a fake DJ, or just have a playlist going and have a, not an animatronic because that's going to be way too expensive, but have a stand-in DJ, what does it, Star Wars does at Oga's Cantina. That's an animatronic. That's too expensive. I get it. But if you just want to have like a fake DJ area and then have a playlist going with good music, that way you don't actually have to hire the DJ in, please feel free to put good music. That's all I hope for the scare zone. It's not a scare zone, but anyways, I will probably tonight be posting, which is going to be like 5 days ago for y'all, but I will tonight be posting my hype list for the scare zones. I did change the order a little bit from the list I showed you yesterday because Blumhouse actually isn't a scare zone this year, which I'm so grateful for, because like that was just Instagram city. And like, as I do understand wanting to take the photos and all that, it just gets boring after a while, after you've seen it like 2 or 3 times. It's been there a lot, so I'm kind of tired of it. But not only am I going to put the scare zones out on the same post, I'm going to put my experience list, because I think Nightmare Fuel is going to be announced. It's only 8:23 right now, so it's going to be like, I think it's 10:34 that the announcements have been made. So once that's been announced, then I will it's going to be something else is going to be announced today, and whether it's a house or it's Nightmare Fuel, I'm still going to post tonight because I'm going to put tentative. Nightmare Fuel's going to go on the bottom for me. Sorry. It's just one of those, like, I do love the experience. I love the show. I don't like being packed in like sardines in a little human seafood boil pot, whatever. It's just too sweaty in there. And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of sweaty, stinky people. And I am very well aware about the sweaty, stinky people in my life. And I don't want the sweaty, stinky people like accumulated. I think that's the word. It's just too much. And then the fire on top of that. I just way too much. So people are staring at me. So I'm going to stop talking and scroll TikTok until tonight. I'm parked and there's a lot of people around me, so I'm not actually going to talk at y'all. I'm just going to have you guys angled down here, and hopefully you guys can hear me. It's hot. It's so hot. It got up to 95 degrees. So, all right, I'm going to go inside and get some video, and hopefully there's something new and surprising. Okay, bye. Okay, we're back in the car, and I'm going to be honest, there really wasn't anything spectacular to report on. The only thing that I really noticed was like they added like the DJ booth area into the Cobra Club Penguin area. And then I forgot to get a video, but like you can see it somewhere else. Dylan Thomas got a video of the scaffolding or whatever. My brain's fried. It's so hot outside and brain just turned off. I need to get home. And also the arcade, there's red lights like right outside if you're looking at it from the Louis side. And I don't remember those they're like little lanterns. So I'm not sure if they were like there the whole entire time or if they're new. Oh, sorry, the parking neighbor next to me came in and left at like the same exact time, which is weird. It's a little odd. There were red torch kind of lights outside of the arcade on the Louis side, and I don't know if that's new or not. I don't remember them being red, but I could just be hopeful that it's going to be good. I don't know. I noticed a couple of other things, but that's all going to be in my vlog, or not vlog. This is the vlog. It's going to be in my shorts. So if you want to check that out, feel free. It's nothing new to report, honestly. I'm not like a fast reporter. I just come here after work, especially when I have an early shift, to just walk around, get some exercise. And like, it's not as bad now since they've opened the 4th lane on the I-4, but like it was my way of beating traffic. And I know I'm not the only one that does this, but like the traffic going to Universal is now worse than the traffic going home. So yeah, I would much rather go towards Universal to sit in traffic rather than go home and sit in traffic and just go home, you know? All right, we're going to go home. I'm probably going to pick up some nachos because I kept on smelling chips and cheese on my way out. And I'm like, oh, that sounds delicious for dinner. So I'm going to do that real quick too. I have enough time, I think. Good morning. It's actually morning. It's almost 9 a.m. I woke up because Apollo woke me up. But then on top of that, like, I couldn't fall back asleep because I I came home and then almost immediately PTFO'd. So now we're here and I'm going to be extra sleepy for my shift tonight. But it's only like a 6.5 hour shift, so I shouldn't be too bad. I'll see if I can extend. I should try to extend. I need the money and like, you know, money's tight right now, especially in the tourism industry. I unfortunately did not post my video last night from all the props because I PTFO'd. And then on top of that, they did not announce the field rules last night. So that being said, I think that I'm going to wait until that's done because I want to mix Scare Zone and experiences together because I think they're kind of different, or they're kind of in the same vein rather, and houses are going to be their own separate hype list. This is all just going to be on TikTok because I don't know how to make photo posts on YouTube. And on top of that, like, I don't really like, I use Red Note, but it only does well for my crochet stuff and my sewing stuff too. So like, it's kind of one of those, like, I don't really feel like it's appropriate for me to make that on there. I do post my travel stuff on there too because I know some of my travel stuff does make it out, but like also I don't know. Red Note is more like Pinterest to me, so I don't feel comfortable doing all that. I have right now, I'm working on buttons, so I'll show you guys. Here are the buttons. This is not the right shade of yellow. In the camera it looks fine, but that's like a pale yellow compared to my fabric. But my Altoid tan, my buttons, we're on the second layer right now, or the back layer because I didn't get around to it last night either. So I didn't do much last night. I crashed out. Not in the modern sense of crashed out, but in the millennial, like 90s sense of crashing out as passing out. So I'm going to keep on watching Hallowed Adventures, one of my favorite YouTubers for HHN updates. I very much appreciate that he blurs out everybody in the background. Big fan of that because nobody signs up to get filmed. That reminds me, actually, on the way home from Universal, there were like a couple cars. So on Saturdays, I want to say they have like a car show over at Old Town. There's just cars, a lot of people with cars in general out here, fancy cars, like the sports cars and all that. And luckily we were in like pretty much standstill traffic. It was stop and go. And this guy like kind of dangerously maneuvered his car so that he could get a video of somebody else's car. And like, I know kind of the point of having those flashy cars is to show off, but like, I thought it was funny, but then I was also like, hey, that's not safe. So, anyways, gonna go back to watch a bunch of HHN creators so I can get updated, so I can also stay updated or update y'all. I guess I don't know. I'm not an HHN creator. We got 5 more done. Yippee! So that makes a total of 10 because I took one out from my little boo jar, and that fills up the jar pretty much. So I can probably bring, no, because I put my makeup in here whenever I go. So I kind of like use him as a purse. And I think I've already mentioned it. I use him as a purse, and then I have a star from the Super Mario Land area that I use. Apollo can't jump. Hold on. I gotta pick him up so he can sit on the little sofa thing. Doggy cam. Look how cute they are. Little babies. He absolutely took her spot. She was sleeping. He's so rude. Oh, poor baby. They're so cute though. Anyways, I had a sick day. I'm not feeling too good. I'm not gonna lie. I think honestly, I'm a little bit dehydrated. So I have a full cup of water and I'm gonna keep on drinking water. I have a pretty bad headache and like my eye was really bad this morning because I didn't wash my face, and I know the repercussions of wearing the purple eyelash whatever mascara does affect me, so I gotta stop doing that. I gotta start washing my face more often. But yeah, I'm just gonna spend the whole day probably cleaning up the house. Maybe, I don't know. I have some dishes and like I get really bad ick with the dishes. My husband has to help me all the time, but there's only a few dishes in there, so I'm hoping I can get some of those dishes done. I'm going to keep on making stars because I kind of want one for like maybe 10 a week. I've done the whole bracelet trading thing. My thing is like, I'm really bad at finding people to trade with. I tried to hold like the carabiner on my backpack, and like, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't my thing. I don't like people approaching me, and like, it's one thing when people approach me because they like my outfits, because that's my art. So that's one of those things that I'm like grateful when people approach me, and then I'll give them something for free. But it's another thing when people just approach me just to trade. And I know that was kind of the point, but like also not really. I don't know. Also, I want to make some for like the attendants and like the house, whatever. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the team members that like work throughout the house. They work really hard. On top of that, like my husband and I have had to like call a team member to the side and be like, hey, that guest in front of us is literally getting in the cast space. So if anybody can stop them and have a chat with them, that would be really great. And I just want to appreciate, oh God, she just tooted. I don't know if you guys heard that, but she tooted so loud. But anyways, I just want to like give them some appreciation. Like at the end of the day, it's the team members that make the difference, and it's the reason why I go is because the team members, the cast, and like the environment in general. Like that's really what HHN is about. And like I don't know, I just love HHN so much, and I wish I had better knowledge about like the lore and history of HHN. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just there for the costuming. I'm there for the set designs, and I'm there to just enjoy being out at night because I'm a night owl, and being a night owl means that I can't do anything because people probably think I'm really scary. I definitely look the part when I'm all dressed up. And then on top of that, it's just like, I think my neighborhood's pretty safe, but it's just the fact that, being a woman, being female presenting, it's like, it's terrifying to go out by yourself in general. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to keep on making more stars to help with this migraine, and probably not talk much today because I'm not feeling good, man. Okay, real quick before I keep on making more stars. Well, I'm still making stars, whatever. If you didn't know and you are a player of Infinity Nikki, you can just teleport to the wishing tablet or the water swing. I mean, you can obviously teleport to the Serpentine Ruins because there's a teleport sign there. Like, that makes sense. But you can just teleport to the swing. And, like, honestly, I've been avoiding those missions because I hate I hate platform games so much. Platform games, love the Mario series, love the stories behind it. Only played Paper Mario the most because there weren't that many platforms. Like, you didn't have to do so many jump puzzles. And I tried to play God of War when I was younger. Love the lore. Hated the jumping scenes, and then having to like the little cut whatever. I don't remember. There's like a rotating like wood thing in the first one, and I just couldn't make it through the scene like without screaming about how mad I was because of how like the little things with the swords, whatever. Ugh, I hate it. God. Okay, so yeah, just in case you're playing Infinity Nikki, you can do that. You don't have to jump over the lily pads every single time. Jesus. All right, so yesterday I didn't feel like recording, and I'm not gonna even gonna lie. I've been obsessed with Infinity Nikki again, and like the thing is, like if you're ADHD, you know. If you're autistic, you probably know too. But like when you get obsessed with something, it's really, really hard to break your attention away from that. Like I literally had dreams about it because of how much I am in my Infinity Nikki mode again. And it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, but like this is just the way my brain is wired, and unfortunately I can't change that unless I take medication, which is expensive because you have to go through therapy, and then you have to go through a provider, and then you have to pay for the pills, and then you have to be condemned because apparently everybody thinks that people are using ADHD medication just to get high, and that's like literally not the point. I'm ADHD. I can't do anything. Literally all I have to do with sewing is like the straps on the bralette. That's it. That's it. It's just buttons. It's just sewing down. It's just ironing. And I can't get myself to do it because I am in Infinity Nikki mode, and I'm also in making little star keychains mode. I finished off a whole skein for the most part. This is what's left of the last skein. I do have one more skein of this just because like I didn't know I had it. Good old ADHD things. I do plan on making another few whatever. I think it was like 10 and a half. There's one that doesn't have a back to it. I still have the little things on it. So it made about 10 and a half, and I don't think I want to buy more of this yarn just because like I'm making a lot of keychains, and I'm slowly going through this. I maybe I can make one more. I don't know. But I do have a couple people I owe keychains to. One is going to go to one of my friends from when I used to work at Universal. We're going to go visit her and give her one because she got us into Epic, and I feel like I don't do enough to let her know that I'm still friendly with her, because I have that thing where if you're not in front of my face, I'm going to forget you exist kind of deal. I have one for a coworker that I'm going to give because last time we tried to meet up at HHN, we couldn't because like she had a party and I had a party, and it was just like really hard to coordinate. So I'm just going to give her one just in case I don't see her again this year. I think I'm going to keep one for myself because I think they're kind of cute. And there's one in here. Like this yarn from Trueboo, I think I've already told you guys, is cuter than the one from Loops and Threads. There's a difference in color. And this one is the Trueboo one, the one in my thumb. And this orange is so much like more pumpkin-y or Halloween-y to me than this orange. This one's not bad. It's just like it's too close to the pastel orange. I don't like pastel orange. I don't know what it is. I guess you can call it peach. Not a fan of it. And plus it matches this little keychain hook so much better than this one because these are obviously two different colors. So whatever. Anyways, I'm waiting for my ramen to cool down or heat up. And then we are playing Infinity Nikki. I already booted it up. And we're going to finish up some more of these stars and then probably start on the next skein. So not to expose my PC area too much, but I'm in the middle of making my Star Wish message, and I wanted to add music like notes to it because I'm trying to do like where I add a fun little gift, right? Of course, I'm going to do an astral feather because I have been doing a lot of collecting rare materials for 1.9, I think is the new release with the houses. So I'm trying to like collect as many materials as I can. Like I said, I was trying to find emojis that I could post in there or like emoticons or something. And I'm on the site called emojicombos.com/music. And okay, so it reminds me of old school forums because take a look. Like people are chatting to each other in here. Not all of them, but like let me scroll up a little bit. There's that one, there's that one. There's probably more. But yeah. This is my photo I'm adding, by the way. Very, very cute. But yeah, I think it's interesting finding websites like this because it's like it reminds me of indie or old school internet. My husband and I were talking about that last night and how like it feels like we're starting to head that way, which isn't a bad thing. Like I think in 2020 with everybody jumping onto the internet, it's not, I don't hate it. At first I loved it because I'm like, oh yes, people are going to be aware that the internet exists, and so we're going to have more accommodations for us and more things to do. And it's slowly like kind of whittled its way down to the three main now apps, but like three main social media sites. And it's like, this isn't really like what old school internet was. It was a lot of browsing and finding your way to different forums and like a lot more elusive, I want to say. And now current AI, AI is destroying the internet. It's not fun anymore. And it's a lot of like rage bait. That's another thing too. It's a lot of rage bait. And like, that's literally what got TV so popular was the rage bait that you could just post on. I mean, that's not the reason why. Let me be honest here. I don't know the reason why, but news entertainment channels, they got popular because of rage bait. And that's just kind of what being on the internet feels like right now, that there's not that much positive stuff. Like you can see it in some places, but it's like you have to go through, like you're like whacking bushes, like bushwhacking just to get to these really good little pockets. I have a good little pocket in my TikTok area, and it's a very small one. So like oftentimes they'll feed me like stuff from the rage baiters, and I'm like, I'm not really about this. Like, and then I take long breaks. But yeah, it's hard to find those little pockets nowadays. And I miss that part of old school internet. I love that it's so much more accessible now. And there's just so much more, well, depending on where you look, there's more content. In general, there's more content. It's a lot of the same content, but there's a lot of different people out there, and yeah, it's like a win-lose situation, you know? I forgot to mention this earlier, but RIP to Ozzy Osbourne. May have done some crazy ass shit, but my God, did he influence the metal community? I think I might actually make a Star Wish bottle for that. I think there is a little item that you can get that's like kind of batwing shaped, so I might do that. That sucks. Like watching his farewell tour, like the last performance on the farewell tour, not gonna lie, kind of brought me to tears because like you could see that he struggled to try and he wanted to stand up, but like he couldn't. Like he was struggling. So yeah, wow, what a crazy ride. What an amazing legend. I hope the metal community is doing okay. I'm not gonna lie. This room stresses me out right now. It's so messy. Like, there's just stuff everywhere because, like, this is where all my stuff is. I have. Please don't touch it, don't touch it. My dog was trying to lick my straw because he can't even get to me. He's like, there are too many obstacles. Look at him. He's having trouble. Mwah. Anyways, yeah, I'm stressed about this room because like there's just stuff everywhere. I'm so tired of seeing things everywhere, and then like I don't know what to do because there's things everywhere. Like I have so much yarn, but like really, so I have that yarn right there, and then I have yarn across in the corner of the room, way over there, and then I also have yarn in the other room, and that's one of the reasons why I was crocheting for so long is because I'm like I need to get through all this yarn. But I also have all this fabric. And like, I think I'm lucky with sewing that I've gotten to get better at sewing as somebody like it's hard for me to say. I got to be better at or like learn how to get into sewing while Joanne was still around. So I don't have to like keep on buying stuff. And it's not that I feel like I have to, especially now. Like, okay, R.I.P. Joanne. I'm every single time R.I.P. Joanne because around this time would be when I would start going out to the stores and looking for Halloween fabric. And I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not even going out to Home Goods right now to look at their tablecloths or their shower curtains because I don't feel right about it. I don't feel like it's time to do that. It's not that it's not time to do it. It's just the fact that like there's nothing there. This room is stressing me out, and I know that's one of the reasons why I'm having like struggling to come into this room and do any sewing because of how messy this area is. I'm so tired of looking at it. It's so annoying. So yeah, I want to get through this project as fast as I can. So little boof. You hear his little boof. Wow, so scary. All right, I'm at least done for the most part with the the pattern for this one. This one is the bralette, right? And all I have, like I said, is the straps and the buttons. And I don't need the instructions for that, so I can just go ahead and fold that up and put it away. And maybe that will help me feel a little bit better. I wish I had a different place to do all my makeup or something, because like literally all of my hobbies, except for my gardening, are in here. So got really lucky and won yarn bobbin chicken, whatever it's called. We won bobbin chicken for at least these. This one's a little bit uneven, but if you're able to notice it, you're too close. So that's all right though. I don't plan on selling this ever, so this is a lesson learned. I believe I should have chalked it, but whatever. We got 3 here, and then we got to do 2 more, 1 here and then 1 here, because that's where the button holes are going to be. And then the buttons themselves, they're going to go onto these. And then, yeah. Oh, and then here. So I might just, I don't know. I'm trying to get myself to go through this. I want to get this done so I can at least do this reveal for y'all. I am struggling to get these buttons on. So the last buttons, or the buttonholes in general, I've had to take it apart 3 times. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but like there's little pock marks because I just can't get it right. I think the machine just can't handle this thick of fabric with buttonhole maker. And I quite honestly don't want to deal with it. So what I'm going to do instead, I am going to take apart the seams and then just sew these in, and it won't be adjustable anymore. Oops, sorry. It's just, I can't deal with it. I am so frustrated dealing with this. I'm beyond my wits, and I just want to get this done. because I didn't want to do buttons anyways. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Not gonna lie, I really don't want to do the rest of it. So I think this is going to be the final part of this. I think I actually might do like a little tie on. So the thing is right here, I think it's because I wasn't able to attach it down here because I changed the size of it. I used the wrong seam allowance because I'm like, this is going to go up to 34 and I'm not a 34. I think I'm 36 or 38. So this is a little bit tight, and honestly, because it's tight around here, it's not going to weigh me down up here, so I can just tie it like a little bow tie up here. I think I'll be okay. I don't know. Like, I don't want to tie it too tight, but oops. I don't know if I'll ever wear this outside of this outfit, but I've learned a lot with this, and I definitely want to try it again once I get the pattern in my own size. This is just a little bit too small for me, but it fits well. I need help back here with the button. I think I could go braless with this. I'm not going to feel comfortable, but I think I could just because like this was meant to be an actual bathing suit. I don't know, because like it would hold everything up, but I think maybe if I have time, I can buy those little cups. I think I actually have bralette cups, so maybe I'll do that. And then that way I won't feel bad for not wearing a bra. This, like, it doesn't hold well. That's the thing. Okay, if I pull this down, that would hold so much better. I think I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna sew it down. It's not gonna be pretty, but I gotta sew this down because I don't like the way that it sits up here. So that would be all. And then I'm not gonna do like a full outfit reveal because it's not ready. This is going to take weeks. Hopefully not so long that I just don't make it out to the 28th. Or what is it? No, yeah, because the 28th is the last day I can work on it. The 29th, we're checking into Terra Luna, I want to say. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing cross action. And then on the 30th, I think that's the first day officially of HHN. So we're going to go that day. Yeah. Okay, I prefer this. All right, so this is now the final product. I can't really show you. I don't have it all buttoned up because that's really hard to reach, and it's little tiny buttons. If they were bigger buttons, it'd be a little bit easier, but I opted to go for the smaller ones. And by the way, all of the paint is coming off, so I wasted my time doing this, but it's like not the biggest deal because at least I learned, and now I know what not to do. And on top of that, like it kind of gives it like that rustic feel, even though it doesn't look like it in the front. I'm really kind of upset about this. That sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think I might have to go braless with this just because, like, I don't like being able to see all of my straps and hardware, you know? But, like, honestly, I'll probably be wearing a top too. Actually, I probably won't go braless. Yeah, I'm wearing that bolero. I forgot about that. So I'm going to wait until my husband gets home to get out of this so he can help me actually like button it up all the way so I can like do the video shot of this video like for the shorts, and then I will hang it and then we'll start working on something. Well, I could probably already start working on. I have the shorts right here. The shorts are super easy. They're my favorite pair of shorts pattern. I'm so upset about this because I don't know how to fix that, and I don't know what I did. I mean, I think it was because I didn't use the proper, like, what is it called? Hem, whatever. Because I was trying too hard to make it, like, fit me. This ring light is annoying the heck out of me, but it looks fine right here. It's up here that, like, really doesn't work out. So, whatever. It's fine. The bolero will cover it. So, the most important part is this and then this. I'll probably not make this specific one again for a long time because it just doesn't work with what I wear in general. But it's nice to have something different in my wardrobe. So my husband has arrived home and I was able to record this. So I think for sure I'm not happy with this, but it's something I need to learn. I think it's really has to do with the way that this came together. I feel like it would have stretched out that way, but my bolero is going to cover it, so it's fine. And then the back, I'm actually kind of happy with the back, the way it looks. It kind of looks cute. I don't know. I like how there's a little tiny bit of yellow as opposed to a lot of yellow. Like the front, kind of like not the biggest fan, but like also it was my first time trying this pattern, so I'm okay that it doesn't look good. So I think maybe it would have looked better if I did this in blue and then just this in yellow. But that's all right. Like, I can deal with this. This is fine. I think it still looks cute enough. So, I did do no bra, by the way, and it feels comfortable. I don't think I actually have those bra cups anywhere. I could probably steal some from one of my old bathing suits that don't fit me anymore. I might actually do that. That might not be a bad idea. And then I won't feel bad for, because like I could probably go back in and repair this in some way or manner. Like I could at least like pin it down somewhere, like down here. Maybe? I don't know. I could use this as an actual bathing suit. So I'm gonna go eat dinner, and then tomorrow we're gonna go to medieval times. So I'll be able to wear this light. Please don't. Okay. Well, I'll be able to wear this, and then finally give it to my best friend, and then yeah, I don't really have an outfit for this one, but I made it, and I'm happy with it. So. All right, see y'all probably tomorrow. I forgot to say hi to you guys, so no mic. We're in the car in traffic, of course. I have my little hat on. Can't show you the back of it because I can't. Then we got my makeup. Oh, jump scare. And then my dress. I'm wearing flippy floppies because it's probably gonna rain and I just don't feel like it. I'm wearing real shoes and I don't have anything that matches. But yeah, we're on our way to Universal. If anybody asks about my makeup, mushroom. I'm a mushroom. But I'm gonna tell them I'm going to medieval times because I am. But that's not until later. We're going to look at HHN props. Look at the horsies. So many horsies. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but so many horsies. Ah! Little hop and a skip. I don't know if I can do this anymore. We're back. We've been back for a while and I forgot I had this makeup on. I was like, who the fuck is that? Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys positioned a little bit better. Okay, maybe that's best. I'm waiting for Infinity Nikki to turn night so that the soul fruit turns into whatever the night fruit is called. I can't remember because I just unlocked this area. Oh my god. The whole entire like adventure at medieval times, fun. Like honestly, it's a pony show. Like you go there and you watch horses dance, and I thought that was super interesting. Like that's the first half of the show, and the second half is like the theatrics. So the first half is like basically for the princesses who are like really into like horses and unicorns. I'm surprised they didn't have a unicorn type thing, but whatever. But yeah, the first half is like mainly for I guess the girls, and then the second half is I guess for the boys because it's all action and like there's sparks flying from the swords and all that. It's loud. We got there late, so we got the very end, but because we got there late, our server kept on giving us free food, like because she had God, I can't speak because like I'm just tired honestly because it was a lot. I am not the type of person that likes to like cheer in public. I'm not the type that likes to scream in public. I'm kind of like the reserved type. I try to stay as quiet and small as I can. Maybe it's part of my PTSD or something, but like I just don't like people be like I wear crazy makeup. That's one thing because like the thing with my style, I do it one because I like it. It's my art form, but two because if I have like people staring at me, there might as well be a reason for them to stare at me. I don't want people staring at me because like I'm being loud. I don't know. It's just something that I kind of grew up into. So like the whole entire time, my husband and his friend are just screaming on the side of me, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat my food and look down and hope that nobody looks over at my way because I'm just not having a good time. And it's not that I wasn't having a good time. It was just that I'm quiet compared to the two of them. My husband was surprisingly loud. I just didn't expect him to be that excited over it. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. Like I highly suggest it if you like we're all 30 plus year olds. I'm the oldest, I'm 33. My husband, he's 31. Our friend is turning 31 on Sunday. So like and it's really funny that he really wanted to do medieval times for his birthday because like when I turned 18, I think it was 18. When I turned 18, we did Chuck E. Cheese because I had never done it. And I don't know. It's something like to do. And like it's $75. You get like a 4-course meal, and I'm not gonna lie, the meal was kind of like, it was a meal. I remember when I went when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure the meal portions were a lot bigger, but that may have just been because I had little kid brain. And I remember also, like, my brain thought that the stadium was huge when I was a kid. Then when we went, I was like, oh, this is just a little, I don't know. It wasn't as big as I remembered it. Whatever. The show, the storyline is the exact same, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know if they change out who wins or not, but I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, it was spoilers for anybody who hasn't gone. It was Blue Knight who ended up winning after like a whole, like, okay, so I like jumped in here during the thing because I was starting to have a bad time because I'm like, oh my god, everybody around me is screaming and cheering, and there's just so much fighting, and it's not like, it's, I know it's not real, but like the fighting was like going on for a very very long time, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can handle any more of these emotions. Like, I was starting to get full too, and like I was soaking wet because it was pouring when we came in. I don't think I had, like, I don't have a video of it, but yeah, it was this, I was just, my feet were wet, and luckily I was wearing flip-flops, but like, we didn't really look at the gift shop, and I kind of feel bad that we didn't because I really would have loved to look into the gift shop and like maybe purchase something, but like all of us were just exhausted because we had spent earlier half the day at Universal, and then getting to medieval times was a lot more stressful than we had all expected. Like, luckily we were able to come in and just like get into the end table. They're very nice about that, and I'm sure if like it was going to be much later, they would have rebooked us. Kind of sad that we didn't go to the later showing because it looked like there were a lot more alternative people going. And like the 5 o'clock showing seemed like a lot more like family type. So either way, it was a lot of fun. I highly suggest it, especially if you're into like horse, like the art of choreography. I think that's like what made me really enjoy it, is that it was choreography. It wasn't like just fighting and horses and all that. It wasn't like super, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's one of those, like, you have to understand the art of choreography to really really enjoy, or just like action. I don't know, or like have little kids. So a lot of fun, worth $75. It's 15% off right now during the summer because like during the school year, I think the kids buy out the stadiums, because I was a kid that went during school. So anyways, I don't really have much more to say besides, oh, I didn't really tell you guys about the props, but you guys will get that. Well, it's already out. I put it on shorts, so you may or may not have already seen it. If you're like, I feel like the crossover between the shorts viewers and the long form content viewers are not really the same. I don't know. I just kind of talk and yap and whatever. Like, I'm not expecting my long form viewers to want to watch any of my short form just because like I don't really put my personality in it. I feel like the most of my personality I put into short form is like my music taste. And like, I mean, on TikTok, I put some of my personality into it, but even then, it's not really like really that. So I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna continue playing Infinity Nikki and watch HHN updates because it's the best time of the year. So we're at the portion where I kind of sum up everything and tell you guys everything that I made. And I'm not gonna lie, this week it won't feel like a lot because I just did a lot of yapping about HHN. But I think sewing right now is, with the projects that I have in plan, they do take a little bit longer. And so I'm not too opposed to it, like not having much done, like quantity wise. I am looking more into quality. And I'm not gonna lie, not everything's quality, but it's better quality. It's learning. I learned a lot this week. So let me go ahead and show you where I started with the beret. I wouldn't really consider this like a project that I finished this week because I did the majority of it, but I sewed it in this week. So it kind of counts because I did mention it. So this one's finally going to make it into the pile. I have the jar of stars. So I have the few that I made last week. There's only 2 from that last week because I have one that made it to a friend, one that made it to Erie Knots, one that is in my backpack to go to a friend, and then one for me personally. So there's only 2 of the good quality ones left, these dark orange ones from last week. But all in all, I have 11 total completely made because I finished these 6 last night. Was it last night? I finished it sometime in the past, but I finished those, and then I finished kind of 4 more. I just gotta sew in the ends. Give me 1 second. Apollo rang the bell, and I must answer real quick while we're out here. I want to show you. This is the cotton plant that had fungus on it, but you can see that it already flowered a little bit. So after it flowers, the flower dies, and then it turns into cotton. But this is like a very baby plant because, like I said, it was like it had fungus on it. So right now it looks like this one right here is growing. I don't know if that's weeds. I don't know because it looks like it's attached to the stick, and this stick was part of the cotton. So maybe it's actually part of this, and if that's the case, then we can expect some more cotton growth in this one. I've been trying to pluck the weeds when I can, but you know, life gets ahead of you. But here's a healthy plant. You can see right here, this one is flowering. Come on, focus please. Look how pretty. Mr. Apollo needs to come inside. Hello, mister. Welcome back. But yeah, these ones are starting to flower a little bit, so that's exciting. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 buds right now, maybe more, but like up here it looks like it's starting to bud too. And this one down here has a couple, but like they're really small because I had to do a lot of cutting. Like I feel really bad. I had to stunt its growth. Like there's 2 plants here, and I hope that they don't get in each other's way. I feel like they might, but I hope not. But yeah, it's kind of got like the flowering leaves in there, so that's pretty exciting. Last but not least for finished projects this week is the top to my Fallout outfit. I'm proud of myself for learning a new pattern. It certainly was exciting. I do know that I need to be better about following like the hem. Like I need to learn more about like how to lengthen and shorten hems, not hems, but like seam allowances without like affecting the whole overall thing. Because I know that the reason why this is doing this is because this right here, because it's supposed to be, because like I think the hem allowance was like 1.25 inches, which sounds like a lot. So I don't think that's right, but it was more than what I did. And I don't know. It is what it is. I do plan on maybe hopefully buying this in my size and then going from there, because I do like the way it came out. Like I love how stiff it is. It's pretty sturdy because I used a lot of interfacing because you're supposed to. And then like I have to remember that I want to do this because the needle's not going to run through. And then on the back, maybe I'll come back to it and do buttons for the back. But at this point, it already has too many buttons, and like it's tough to get it on there. My husband had to help me, and he was also struggling as the person not wearing it. So it's something that I will have to look into in the future. But I'm very happy with the way that this came out, and I hope to make it again in the future better and more suitable to my style. Because like we played a lot of Infinity Nikki this week. That's 100% for sure. Positive, 100%. I am the type of person that likes short little top right here with straps or whatever, and then high top shorts. That's my style. And it's very reminiscent of 1940s beach wear. And I want to get more into stuff like this. I love the crisscross action in the back. That's really cool. And I want to get more into the bolero style, or wearing like shoulders or sleeves, whatever. That's kind of like where my direction of style is going, or fashion is going. And this is a good start. This is absolutely a wonderful start. I want to make one in black, of course, like who doesn't? I do have this fabric, and it's this like floral leaf fabric that I've had since I first started sewing, because it looked like goth, but not really. It was like goth 40s. Let me go grab it real quick if I can find it. This is the fabric. It's not very goth, mind you, but it's like roses on black fabric. And I was like, oh, this was like before I really started exploring more into goth fashion and alternative fashion in general. This is when I was like solidly in my 1940s phase, but like starting to go down a darker route with the shades and all that. But anyways, I have a lot of this fabric. I think this would be really cute as like the little like crop top, whatever. I already put it away. I think this would be really cute. Maybe making shorts out of it, but at this point, I'm not really looking into doing that yet. I do need to search out for more black fabric. I want to order from Fabric Warehouse soon because I know they have black fabric on there, and I want to really, like, I know they have duck canvas. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a cheap alternative. It's cotton. It's just like, it's not the most comfortable, but it will do the job. So that would be something fun to work with. And having this, I don't know how many yards are in here, probably 3, but I can make a couple out of this. And then, yeah, maybe I'll order that pattern eventually. I'll see if Simplicity has another sale. Next time they have a sale, I'll probably weigh in on that or cash in on it and grab a couple of extra patterns, because we all know, as I mentioned before, the sewing community is in turmoil because literally every accessible option for us is being taken out. The only places that are kind of acceptable, or like have accessibility rather, are like New York and California. Like there's tiny spaces here and there in Florida, but it's mainly geared to older generation because this is Florida and people come here to die, basically. That sounds morbid. I'm sorry. But but yeah, like it's really tough to be a sewist right now, and I just hope that we can get a great alternative soon again. I want to try out the Fabric Warehouse, like I said, just so I know what I can like tolerate. I know I like Kona cotton, but right now it looks like the only supplier is Michaels, and they won't ever do discounts on their fabric, and that's such a shame because I think that's going to actually pull me away from Kona fabrics, because if I can find something cheaper, I will. All right, so that's the end of this week. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for coming with me to medieval times. I wasn't planning on vlogging, but like I was really excited to see the ponies. Like that was pretty nice. I like when you hear people talk about medieval times, they always talk about like the jousting, but nobody talks about the ponies, the horses doing little stunts and tricks and all that. Like it was really interesting to see something like that. And like they have like a little barnyard in the back area, and it looks like they keep some of the horses on property, so they actually have like room, and like they had a little blacksmith area and all that. I'm hoping that they are making enough revenue to actually envelop like a little area to give it like, so I was one person who went to the Holy Land experience, and that's kind of the vibes I can see medieval times going with. Not quite the Bible vibes, but like the time period vibes. I can kind of see that happening, where they'll have like a petting zoo where you can pay to pet some of like the medieval animals, or like brush the ponies or something. I doubt they'll do that with the horses, because like horses are very temperamental. So maybe more like lambs, maybe. I don't know. They could probably make a killing selling the wool from it, but yeah, it would be really cool if they did something like that to further expand on medieval times, because I think it has a lot of potential. It's just that it's not a very well-loved event, because I think most people that went to it with the idea that it's just about like people fighting with swords, and there's just a lot more to it. So, all right, I'm going to stop yapping, cut myself off. This is a almost 2.5 hour video, and I apologize, but I just didn't feel like it was right to split it off because I talked a lot about Oh, that reminds me. So sorry, I'm going to yap some more. They did announce 2 more things for HHN. They did announce the Fuel Girls, the Nightmare Fuel. What was the show? Something about circus. I'm not super interested. I love circus theme. It's one of my favorite things ever, but I'm just kind of tired of seeing the same show over and over again. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But they reintroduced the water show, and that's so extremely exciting. We've been needing another show. Like I've gushed about this earlier, but one of the reasons why HHN doesn't feel right is because there's not enough shows, there's not enough Streetmosphere, but this year they are jam-packing the Streetmosphere experience. And I'm just so excited to have like places for the crowds to go, because we don't have Rip Ride Rocket anymore. Yeah, like we don't have the space in the back area anymore to like mitigate the crowds. It's felt really cramped. And this is just so nice to see that they're investing more money into HHN, knowing that the fans really want more entertainment. So that's something to look forward to. A reminder, I do have an HHN playlist for all the updates that I do. For short form content, I probably won't ever do long form content update lists because I struggle with being social in public. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me this week. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for listening to me info dump on about HHN and my experiences, because it's one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.